Chapter 1740. Through the introduction, Yi Chen found out that the old priest's surname was Su, and the young man was called Qing Gong. The other man and woman were Qing Gong's siblings. The other woman in black called herself Lotus. The 8 of them set off. Along the way, old priest Su was as enthusiastic as fire. He introduced the various treasures and dangerous places of Tongxian planet to everyone, teaching them his trading experience, and so on. Then, he changed the topic and asked Yi Chen, "Fellow Yi, where are you from?" Yi Chen smiled to himself and replied, "The 3 of us are independent cultivators from Fire Spirit Planet." Qing Gong probed, "I heard that something big happened on Fire Spirit Planet recently. I wonder if you can tell me about it? Are you talking about the destruction of Wood Spirit Planet and the 3 Masters?" Qing Gong shook his head. "I heard that something happened to the Fire Spirit Planet's fire domain." Yi Chen pretended to be confused and said in surprise, "Fire domain? We're just ordinary independent cultivators. How could we know about the Fire Spirit Tribe's sacred land?" Qing Gong smiled and changed the topic. "I only heard it from the grapevine. Don't mind me, fellow Yi." Yi Chen waved his hand. Subsequently, Qing Gong chatted with Lotus. Lotus, however, put on a cold face and didn't pay any attention to him. The group soon arrived at a small island and teleported to the depths of the sea through the teleportation formation. Old priest Su led the way and kept moving in the deep sea. Suddenly, Yi Chen noticed something in the deep sea ahead. He probed with his divine consciousness and realized that it was the lair of 2 ferocious sea beasts. Yi Chen's eyes flashed. He realized that old priest Su had gone around the lair on purpose. Then, he went straight into the sea beast's lair. Roar! The 2 sea beasts roared and charged at everyone with their mountain-like bodies. "It's a male and female golden core giant whale beast." Old priest Su pretended to be shocked. Then, he charged at the male giant whale beast with the other 3 and shouted, "Fellow Yi, the 4 of you deal with that one." Yi Chen faced the female giant whale beast that was charging at him. He used some physical strength and the 2 collided. Boom! The seawater churned and waves surged everywhere. Yi Wushuang and the other 2 unleashed the attack power of ordinary golden core cultivators, but it was like a drop in the ocean against the female giant whale beast. At this moment, Lotus teleported to the top of the female beast's head and pierced it with an inch of green light. Boom! A powerful Zhen Yuan exploded in its body, causing the female beast to violently writhe. Lotus attacked once again. Suddenly, the red light on the beast's body surged. Its cultivation had actually reached the peak of the gold core stage. Its huge tail swatted towards Lotus. Lotus was shocked, but when she saw Yi Chen rushing toward the giant beast, she flew into a rage. "Go away!" Yi Chen was sent flying hundreds of feet away by the giant beast. Lotus erupted with even stronger Zhen Yuan, and a sword light streaked across the sky like a green mountain, killing the huge beast. On the other side, old Taoist Su and the others had also finished their battle. The people gathered together. They could not help but feel relieved when they saw that Yi Chen was only lightly injured. Old priest Su was very vexed. "It's all my fault for leading you the wrong way." Qing Gong stepped forward to comfort Yi Chen. "Fellow Yi, are you all right? I have some healing medicinal pills here." How would Yi Chen dare to take his medicinal pill? "I'm fine. My body-refining cultivation method is very good. It's just a minor injury." The group set off again. Old priest Su led the group around the sea again, constantly releasing some aura-eliminating formations or ambushing other people's magic treasures. He said that this was to prevent people from following them and killing them to steal their treasures. Yi Chen was surprised. This old priest was very careful. However, in the face of absolute power, these little things could not even withstand a single blow. After a long time, the group was almost impatient. Old priest Su finally arrived at the so-called ancient ruins. Old priest Su took out a token from his pocket and chanted softly. He performed a series of hand seals, and soon, a light film appeared in the air. There was a red light flowing on it, and the formation was incomparably exquisite. The restriction at the entrance of the ruins was activated. Old priest Su pointed ahead and said, "The ruins are below. We have to break the restriction together to enter." Everyone attacked together, and the bottom of the sea was instantly overflowing with light. The terrifying pressure had long scared away the living beings within 100 miles. Rumble! The restriction shook crazily, and the red light dimmed. Then, it was broken, and the impact stirred up shocking waves in all directions. The restriction was broken, revealing a broken stone door. There were complicated carvings and huge stone pillars on both sides. All of them showed the glory of the ancient times and the extraordinariness of the owner of the ruins. Old priest Su took the lead and entered the ruins while the rest followed behind. Inside the ruins, gravel and broken walls were everywhere. Many decorations made of spiritual plants had long decayed, and the air was filled with a rotten and damp smell. Be careful. I've only been in the periphery. There are many formations and traps in the inner area. Old priest Su passed through the periphery with ease. Soon, he arrived at a tunnel. There was a faint palace on the other side of the tunnel. Old priest Su looked at the tunnel nervously. "I came here last time, so I dare not go any further. Let's think of a way to go there together." Yi Chen observed the layout of the ruins along the way and combined with the decorations. He guessed that the ruins were an ancient underwater immortal sect. The periphery was the outer disciple area, and behind the tunnel was the inner sect, the real sect. On both sides of the tunnel was a dark and deep underwater abyss. Even a soul-splitting cultivator would die if they fell into it. Meanwhile, the only tunnel had a killing formation activated. There were many killing formations along the way, and they were all interconnected. Those below void refinement would definitely die if they barged in. They had to find the eye of the formation here to break it. Old priest Su looked at the tunnel and frowned. "We can't resist the killing formation in this tunnel. How can we go through it?" At that moment, the young man took the initiative to stand out. He looked at the tunnel with confidence. "I know a thing or two about formations, so I'll give it a try." He floated to the tunnel after saying that. The formation suddenly exploded, and countless saber gleams appeared out of nowhere. They shot at the young man as if the young man would be pierced by thousands of sabers in the next second. "Break!" The young man shouted and took a step forward. The young man's clothes fluttered even though there was no wind. A gust of wind rose into the sky and destroyed the sabers that were surrounding him. Subsequently, the young man broke a few formations consecutively and found the eye of the formation. His true origin exploded and he slammed it down. The floor shattered and gravel flew everywhere. The killing formation in the tunnel was broken. Old priest Su was overjoyed and immediately led everyone to catch up. He smiled. "With young master here, the snow ink is in the bag." Old priest Su led the way to avoid the traps while the young man broke the formation. It was a daunting journey, but there was no danger. Soon, they arrived at the intersect. Yi Chen was amazed when he saw the duo's cooperation. Did they really just know each other? Soon, they entered a ruined palace. Many broken stone pillars fell to the ground, and only half of a broken plaque was left hanging. The word treasure was written on it. Chapter 1741. As soon as they walked to the middle of the hall, a hoarse and sharp roar suddenly came from the small room in the corner. It was like the sound of sharp nails rubbing against metal, sending chills down their spines. Boom! The 8 zombies were absorbed by the living aura. They charged out of the corner like crazy and surrounded the group. Oh no! They're all Mastery Stage Golden Core zombies. One of them is a perfect Stage Golden Core 1. Old Taoist Su's expression was grim as he gripped the weapon in his hand tightly. Kill! Lotus charged at the perfect Stage Golden Core zombie directly. Yi Chen said to Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch of Hell through voice transmission, "Don't expose your cultivation base." Just fight them with your golden core cultivation base. Soon, the 8 of them fought the 8 zombies. Such zombies were cultivated by the sect using medicinal baths on the corpses of their disciples. Their skin was invulnerable, and they were not afraid of pain. They could only destroy their hearts with powerful true origin energy. Cultivators on the same level could not defeat most zombies. In the hall, the explosion of true origin energy shook the air, causing dust to fly in the air. Yi Chen was more than enough to face a golden core zombie. He observed secretly while fighting. Qing Gong's feet were covered in wind as he shot wind blades in his hands continuously. He kept attacking the zombie's heart, and a hole appeared in the zombie's chest. Meanwhile, Lotus was even more powerful. She used a green gleam as a sword and performed a sharp sword technique. The green gleam was like an arrow, causing the perfect stage golden core zombie to retreat. Its heart was almost exposed. However, the rest were in a difficult situation. Their attacks were limited to the zombies, but they were still charging at them while roaring. Suddenly, something happened on Old Taoist Su's side. His true origin energy hit the broken stone pillar by mistake, causing it to fall toward Yi Chen and the rest. "Watch out!" the Qing siblings shouted. The golden gleam on Yi Chen's body shone brightly. His cultivation base was still at the golden core level, but his physical strength was stronger. He pushed the zombie back with a punch and leaped up. He jumped onto the stone pillar and kicked like a whip. Boom! The stone pillar shattered into a few pieces in the air and flew around. Yi Wushuang and the rest destroyed the broken stone pillar easily and were unharmed. Viciousness flashed through Qing Gong's eyes when he saw that Yi Chen and the rest were safe. Yi Chen landed on the ground and fought the zombie again. He glanced at Old Taoist Su coldly. "Kill!" Lotus unleashed a stunning sword attack. The green sword ray condensed into a needle and pierced the zombie's heart. Bang! The zombie's heart was crushed, and black blood flowed out of it. It collapsed like a stone. Lotus then turned around and joined forces with Qing Gong to kill the zombie before helping the others. In the end, all 8 zombies were lying on the ground. Their black blood gave off the smell of rotting plants. After a fierce battle, only 2 people were lightly injured. After all, zombies had no intelligence, so it was difficult for them to kill everyone. Old Taoist Su panted heavily. His hand that was holding his weapon trembled slightly. He looked at Yi Chen apologetically. "Fellow Yi, I almost killed you in the battle earlier." Yi Chen pretended to be exhausted. He said calmly, "It was just an accident. Moreover, I'm fine." He clasped his fists at Yi Chen and said, "Let's continue forward." Finally, Old Taoist Su led everyone through a narrow aisle. Their eyes lit up. On the left was a large shelf filled with porcelain bottles. The shelf was made of top-grade spiritual plants. It was a treasure in itself, but it still looked brand new. On the weapon shelf on the right, there were some magic treasures that were glowing with spiritual light. There were also some spirit stones and materials for refining weapons and medicine in other places. This is the treasure vault. Old Taoist Su and the rest were burning with desire when they saw the magic treasures and medicinal pills that countless low-level cultivators would go crazy for. The greed in their eyes was on the verge of bursting out. Yi Chen, on the other hand, pretended to heal his injuries. In reality, he was watching the situation coldly. He was not interested at all. Everyone rushed in and the old Taoist shouted, "Fellow cultivators, we still need to look for the snow ink. Let's split these treasures equally." Everyone calmed down a little and continued moving after splitting the treasures. Yi Chen and the other 2 were at the back. Yi Wushuang said through voice transmission, "Brother, that old Taoist did it on purpose." Yi Chen nodded and chuckled softly. "I know. I just want to see what they're doing." After passing through the maze-like tunnel again, they eventually arrived at a huge palace. It was so huge that they could not see everything at a glance. The palace was well maintained with spiritual wood carvings and marble tiles. The decorations were grand and majestic. There was a transparent treasure weapon in the middle of the hall. They could see the ink-like spiritual liquid inside. It was emitting a glow as if there was a celestial glow flowing around it. There was cold air flowing around the treasure weapon, and there were ice crystals in the air. The snow ink! The people cheered in excitement. At that moment, Ching Gong and old Taoist Su, who were standing at the door on purpose, laughed out loud. The Ching siblings looked at the duo in confusion. They asked, "Brother Ching, what are you guys laughing at?" Yi Chen and the rest looked at each other. They were secretly on high alert at the same time. The atmosphere around them was extremely strange, especially the demonic look on Ching Gong and old Taoist Su's faces. It was chilling. Ching Gong and old Taoist Su laughed out loud at the same time. Their laughter echoed in the entire palace. They cursed at the same time, a bunch of idiots. The crowd suddenly realized that the duo's actions, expressions, and even the tone of their voices were exactly the same. The crowd was shocked. Someone pointed at them in horror and said with a trembling voice, "Old Taoist Su has been refined into a puppet by Ching Gong." Ching Gong smiled ferociously and said in a creepy voice, "This will be your burial ground. You are all just food for master." The Ching siblings were dumbfounded. They said in fear, "No, we are brothers of the same clan. You can't do this to us." The smile on Ching Gong's face became even more terrifying. The demonic energy on his body surged and became extremely vicious. "What can you do? As long as I feed you to master, my strength will increase greatly and I will be the successor of the clan leader." As soon as he finished speaking, the palace shook violently. Dust and gravel kept falling from above. A crack suddenly appeared in the main hall in front of them. Demonic energy poured out from the crack, covering the sky and covering the earth. The entire palace was covered in demonic energy. A terrifying pressure spread out, causing everyone to be dumbfounded. They saw a thick broken horn sticking out, followed by a huge, pitch-black body. The hands were even bigger than the body, and they could easily hold the stone pillars in the palace that were as big as sea beasts. The ancient demon had awakened. Everyone was frightened out of their wit. The Ching siblings' faces were ashen, and their bodies were stiff. This was an ancient demon that was comparable to a void training stage cultivator. Yi Chen's eyes flashed. He suddenly realized that Ching Gong and old Taoist Su were nowhere to be seen. He frowned as he realized that Ching Gong had been possessed by the ancient demon. The ancient demon was Ching Gong. The ancient demon seemed to be sealed in this palace. It could only use Ching Gong's identity to spread the news of the ruins. It used treasures as bait to attract cultivators to come and take its life essence. It would then become powerful and break the seal. End of this chapter. Chapter 1742. They stared at the monstrous shadow that covered the entire underground palace. At this moment, everyone's expression changed. They had not expected such a terrifying existence to exist here. "Run! Run!" The Ching siblings were horrified. Without another word, they turned and ran. Boom! With a loud bang, all the exits of the hall were blocked. There was no way out? Everyone could not help but feel despair. Yi Chen, who was in the crowd, stared at the ancient fiend phantom in shock. Even though he had already realized that Ching Gong was up to no good. Even though he had realized that Ching Gong was hiding something, he did not expect that there would be an ancient demon here. Yi Chen subconsciously glanced at the black-clothed woman. He found that Lotus was not at all shocked by the ancient demon's appearance. In fact, he could see the monstrous hatred in her eyes. At that moment, Lotus took off her black robe, revealing an extremely moving face. Her heroic appearance revealed a bone-deep hatred for the ancient demon. "That's the Blue Lotus Fairy." Someone recognized at a glance that the black-clothed woman was the Blue Lotus Fairy. The Blue Lotus Fairy was ranked 9th on the Big Dipper prodigy list. The Wood Spirit Clan genius who had chased after Huaxian was ranked 30th on the list. She had only cultivated several hundred lotuses and relied on her exquisite blue lotus sword technique to defeat a void refinement stage powerhouse. Now that she had reached the void refinement stage, she would definitely be able to defeat the ancient demon. When everyone saw her, they were overjoyed. They calmed down as if they had found their backbone. The blue lotus fairy coldly looked at the ancient demon and gnashed her teeth. "You've finally shown yourself. My father died because of you. Today I will avenge him." Lotus walked towards the ancient demon. With each step, her hatred for the ancient demon grew. With each step, her cultivation grew stronger. Her aura rose from peak golden core to peak golden core. Then, her true essence surged and she broke through to the void refinement stage. For 500 years, the ancient devil had controlled cultivators like Qing Gong, cultivators with a demonic nature in their hearts. Then, he ordered them to lure low-level cultivators from the outside world to become his food. Fairy Blue Lotus's father had been one of his victims 500 years ago. "In the past, you lured my father to death by searching for treasures. Today, I will use the same method to kill you." Hum! The Blue Lotus sword seemed to be able to feel Fairy Blue Lotus's hatred. It constantly vibrated in the void, sending out sharp sword lights that cut through the void. Fairy Blue Lotus grasped her sword and true essence rose. A blue light seemed as if it could pierce through the palace as it hurtled towards the ancient demon. "Kill!" The two sides fought fiercely, shattering the void and shaking the mountains. It was as if the ruins were about to collapse. At the same time, Qing Gong and old Taoist Su, who had disappeared into the devil qi, charged towards the crowd. Their bodies were shrouded in devilish qi and their appearances were hideous. Their cultivations had actually reached the half-step void refinement realm. "Be careful!" Yi Chen shouted. A person rushed towards Qing Gong. Yi Wushuang spoke to Yi Chen through voice transmission while fighting old Taoist priest Su. "Brother, should we attack?" "Don't worry. I can feel that there is something strange within the ancient devil's body. Fairy Blue Lotus can still deal with him." Yi Chen was retreating from Qing Gong's attacks as he transmitted his voice. Qing Gong laughed strangely and said complacently, "Little brat, your physical body is very strong. You must be delicious food." Cloud staircase kick. Yi Chen retracted his leg. Bang! The kick was enveloped by Qing Gong's devil qi. It was as if he had fallen into a swamp. He lost all his strength and was stuck in it. Qing Gong laughed out loud when he saw Yi Chen fall into the devil qi. He seized the opportunity to get close to Yi Chen and stabbed his devil palm into Yi Chen's heart. Yi Wushuang suddenly exploded and joined the battle. He slashed Qing Gong's devil palm that was about to take Yi Chen's life and forced Yi Chen to retreat. On the other side, blue lotus flowers bloomed all around Fairy Blue Lotus's body. She was like a lotus pond in autumn, enchanting, but also dangerous. The green lotus flowers exploded on the ancient demon's body. Black blood splattered everywhere and the giant palm was a bloody mess. "Ha ha ha, the seal is finally broken. I've recovered my strength." Suddenly, the ancient demon threw his head back and laughed. An even more powerful aura surged out of his body, and the green lotus flowers were instantly destroyed. A powerful shockwave spread out in all directions. Bang! Many stone pillars collapsed and dust flew everywhere. Everyone was sent flying. The Qing siblings' true energy shield was broken and they slammed into the wall. They were seriously injured and fainted. When the dust dissipated, the palace was in a mess. After seeing the ancient demon, everyone gasped. Their hearts were like monstrous waves. The ancient demon's cultivation base was at the early stage of the divine splitting stage. Fairy Blue Lotus coughed out a mouthful of blood and stood up to face the ancient demon's terrifying pressure. She was unwilling. "Am I going to die in the hands of this demon today?" She gritted her teeth and her eyes revealed the desire to die. She shouted to everyone, "Run! I'll hold it back." Qing Gong and old Taoist Su suddenly appeared at the exit and said viciously, You will all die today. The strange thing was that Qing Gong's arm had actually grown back. At this moment, Yi Chun stood between Fairy Blue Lotus and the ancient demon. He was facing the ancient demon. Fairy Blue Lotus looked at Yi Chun in shock and then said angrily, "I told you to leave." The ancient demon looked at Yi Chun, who was like a fool. He revealed a bloody mouth and said fiercely, "No one can run. You will all die." Yi Chun smiled gently. His powerful and confident voice sounded like the voice of an immortal descending from heaven. "Wu Shuang, go kill the dog that's barking at the door. Leave it to me." Yi Wuxuang grinned and his cultivation base erupted. He charged at Qing Gong and old Taoist Su with his sword. Fairy Blue Lotus was incomparably shocked. Yi Wuxuang and old Taoist Su were at the soul-splitting stage. Then, she looked at the mysterious Yi Chun. Heaven-burning palm. The void suddenly began to burn, and the crimson flames gradually formed into a palm that pressed down on the ancient devil. The ancient demon's demonic energy gushed out like a tide. His aura rose steadily. The giant palm of demonic energy pushed out and a powerful force erupted like a storm, shattering the void and shaking the world. Boom! Flames exploded. No. What kind of power is that? The ancient demon was shocked to find that his incomparably powerful soul-splitting strength was useless. He could not withstand a single blow from Yi Chun. The burning flame easily burned his demonic energy. Ah! The ancient demon's screams echoed throughout the ruins. It was incomparably tragic. Fairy Blue Lotus watched as Yi Chun killed the ancient demon with a single palm. She was dumbstruck as she looked at the mysterious and powerful figure. "No, please let me go. I'm willing to be your servant." The ancient demon's miserable begging for mercy woke the stunned Fairy Blue Lotus. Then, she screamed at the top of her lungs, "Kill! Kill it!" The flames seemed to hear her voice and soon, the ancient demon was burned to ashes. A stream of light flew out of the ashes. Yi Chun absorbed it into his palm and refined it. It was the ancient demon's spiritual memory. After Yi Chun digested it, he came to a complete realization. It turned out that the ancient demon came from a small realm in the spirit realm called the Heavenly Origin Stage. A long time ago, a Heavenly Origin Stage human cultivator built this passage and escaped to the Big Dipper region. Unfortunately, he was discovered by a powerhouse from an underwater sect who guarded this place and was sealed here. As expected, he found the passage to the spirit realm in his mind. End of this chapter. Chapter 1743. On the other side, Yi Wuxuang and the other young man had already killed Qing Gong and old Taoist Su. The three of them met up. Fairy Blue Lotus watched as Yi Chun floated towards her like an immortal. She endured her injuries and stood up. She deeply bowed, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Thank you, Senior, for saving my life and for helping me kill the enemy that killed my father." Yi Chun looked at her heavily injured body and sighed softly. With a wave of his hand, Fairy Blue Lotus fainted on the ground. "This girl has a pure and innocent heart." Yi Chun shook his head secretly as he looked at her. He then waved his sleeve and erased a part of her memory. "Let's take a look inside." Yi Chun spoke. The three of them walked into the depths of the palace. Following the ancient devil's memories, the three of them quickly found the passage to the spirit world inside the palace. It was an underground palace, surrounded by tall, dark brown walls. There was only a staircase in the middle that stretched as far as the eye could see. As Zhang Xian ascended the staircase that seemed to lead to the heavens, a massive teleportation formation appeared before him. The teleportation formation runes engraved on the walls were ancient and profound. The stone walls flickered with starlight as if one could see the distant starry sky of the spirit realm. Yi Chun looked straight ahead and took a deep breath. The other side was the spirit realm. The three of them looked at each other. There was no need for them to say anything. Their gazes spoke for themselves. Yi Chun waved his sleeve and spirit stones poured out like an avalanche. As spiritual energy was injected, the teleportation formation was activated. It was as if a gigantic abyss had appeared on the endless wall. Yi Chen and the other two stepped into it. Spiritual realm, here I come. A halo enveloped Yi Chen, the patriarch of hell, and Yi Wushuang. Subsequently, they disappeared from where they were, leaving only the ashes of the spirit stones echoing in the underground palace. In the passageway, as soon as the three of them appeared, they didn't even have time to look around before a bolt of purple lightning tore through the air and struck them. Boom! It's the Void Thunder! Patriarch Yellow Spring's expression changed drastically. Why is there Void Thunder here? Be careful! Yi Chen yelled and activated his quintessential energy shield to block the thunderous attack. The powerful impact shook the internal organs of the three people until they were dizzy. They discovered that the transportation passage was extremely unstable. Space storms were wreaking havoc everywhere, bombarding the three of them. The trio's quintessential origin shields flickered. Yi Chen cast stabilizing formations while Yi Wushuang blocked with his sword qi. The Patriarch of Hell's quintessential origin shield was injected into the shield. Just as the three of them heaved a sigh of relief, rumble! An earth-shattering sound of thunder came from afar. Even though it was very far away, everyone who heard it couldn't help but feel a sense of fear. Before the thunder was done, a bolt of lightning the size of a giant beast tore through the air. It turned into a lightning dragon and charged toward Yi Chen and the rest. There was even black void thunder mixed in with the deep purple lightning. That was the Void Thunder. Even a Tribulation Transcendence stage cultivator would pale in fear. Even a Tribulation Transcendence stage cultivator would be in danger of dying. Patriarch Yellow Spring's expression changed drastically, and despair filled his heart. Am I going to die here today? Give it your all. Don't hold back. Yi Chen's calm voice came into her ears. His hands turned into phantoms, and with the Emperor brush in one hand, he drew array after array in the void, striking out profound talismans. The Night Demon battle armor transformed into a black shield that protected the three of them from the inside out. His physical strength exploded, and golden light fused into the shield. Immortal Slaying Flying Saber. 3 pure ones in one breath. Emperor Green Wood Finger. Powerful energy exploded, shaking the void. Even the passage barrier was shaking. Bang! Yi Chen's divinity was torn apart by the lightning dragon. The terrifying impact weakened the lightning power, but the lightning dragon still charged at the three of them. Yi Chen stood in front of the lightning dragon to protect the two of them. He took the void lightning on his own. Bang! The void exploded and countless spatial storms shattered. Blech! Yi Chen was sent flying. He spat a mouthful of blood out of his mouth. The blood floated in the air and emitted golden gleams. Yi Chen was severely injured. Brother! Yi Chen! Yi Wushuang and Yi Chen immediately caught Yi Chen, who was floating weakly in the air. It was not Yi Chen's first time taking a teleportation formation since he embarked on the path of cultivation. However, this time it was incomparable to the past. This time, he was flying to a world like the spirit realm. Not to mention shattering the void, even he could not withstand the rule power and void lightning contained in it easily. As the space squeezed, the storm shook. After an unknown period of time, the space finally stabilized. The aura of some living beings finally came from the end of the passage. The stable space exit emitted a dazzling white light. Yi Chen finally heaved a sigh of relief. His tense mind relaxed, and his severely injured body suddenly lost its strength. He fainted. In the desolate and uninhabited valley, there were bare, withered trees everywhere. The cawing of crows echoed in the forest. The earth was very dry, and there were cracks everywhere. It was fragmented, and the entire world seemed to be dyed red with blood. Yi Chen woke up slowly and slowly felt his injured body. Fortunately, only his spiritual power was dried up and his meridians were damaged. He forced a smile to himself. He had been careless. He should not have opened the teleportation formation so rashly. After all, no one could guarantee that this teleportation formation was safe. Subsequently, he forced himself to sit up and looked around. He realized that he was in a dark, desolate valley. He could not see the end of it at a glance. Whether it was the trees or the flowers and plants, they were all withered yellow or dead gray. There was no sign of life at all, and the nearby rivers all emitted a rotten smell. In the gray sky above him, a blood-red sun hung, and there were 3 similar suns hanging on the horizon. Everything seemed so strange. Yi Chen's expression changed slightly when he sensed the faint demonic energy around him. Demonic energy? Could I have arrived at the devil realm? At this moment, he was shocked to realize that Yi Wuxuang and the Patriarch of Hell were no longer around him. He released his divine consciousness to cover the surroundings, but he did not sense their auras at all. After sensing again, he could not help but exhale. Fortunately, he could still sense Yi Wuxuang, but he did not know where the former was exactly. Yi Chen did not know whether to laugh or cry. This so-called teleportation formation was probably random. Different people would be teleported to different places. He could not help but force a smile. He could only hope that the 2 of them were in this world. Otherwise, it would be difficult to find them in such a huge spirit realm. At this moment, he thought of something and suddenly sensed traces of a battle in the distance. He controlled his divine consciousness to look over and saw 3 ferocious-looking men filled with murderous aura chasing after a female human cultivator. Yi Chen recognized that the 3 of them were demons. The female cultivator kept running toward him. When she saw Yi Chen, her lips moved and she fell to the ground in exhaustion. The 3 demons chased after her. One of the demons smiled cruelly when he saw the female cultivator. The ferocious genitals on his lower body pierced through the woman's body. Then, he stuck out his scarlet tongue and swallowed the woman. Yi Chen could only watch as the person died. He wanted to save her, but his body was injured and his spiritual power was exhausted. He could not do anything. At that moment, the 3 demons had already noticed Yi Chen. They said in the demon language, "Human?" The man-eating demon was about to kill Yi Chen when he was stopped by the leading demon. "Wait, this person is quite handsome. Keep him alive, and bring him back to see the demon Queen Medusa." End of this chapter. Chapter 1744. Yi Chen could not help but be stunned. He was thinking about how to get rid of the 2 of them, but he was spared because he was good-looking. The reason gave him a strange feeling. However, since there was no danger for the time being, he chose to stay silent. Instead of running around in his current state, he might as well endure it and figure out the situation. The demon leader seemed to do such things often. He studied Yi Chen's appearance and subsequently tied him up with a magic weapon before taking him away. The blood-red sun dimmed significantly. The dark red sunlight shone on the narrow path in the valley. The roars of demons came from the withered forest on both sides, sending chills down one's spine. The man-eating demon was especially excited. He pointed at Yi Chen and asked the demon leader, "Hall, what do you think the queen will reward us when we return to the settlement?" Hall smiled. He was also very happy to be able to catch someone as good-looking as Yi Chen. He said in satisfaction, "Demon Queen Samantha likes those beautiful human male cultivators. She'll definitely reward you handsomely if you serve her in bed." At this point, the man-eating demon trembled all over and said to Hall softly, "I saw the demon Queen Medusa eating those human male cultivators last time. She won't let them die. She'll eat them bit by bit before dying. It's a life worse than death." Hall was furious when he heard that and scolded, "Shut up!" A demon that had just eaten a human was afraid. How cruel was the demon Queen Medusa's way of eating! Yi Chen listened quietly as his eyes flickered. He learned that this place seemed to be the gathering place of the Devil tribe, the Holy Tua tribe. The leader of this tribe was a female demon who appeared to be at the void-tempering stage. She was known as Mei Munsa, and she was extremely lecherous. She liked to keep beautiful male cultivators as pet. She would swallow any human cultivator after she was tired of playing with them. Yi Chen could not help but wonder if he had really been teleported to the demon realm. Along the way, Hall kept a close watch on Yi Chen. Soon, he was escorted to the demon tribe's settlement. As soon as he entered the settlement, Yi Chen saw a shocking scene. There were mines on both sides of the gate. Many human cultivators were enslaved and had their feet shackled as they dug for ore. If anyone slacked off or made any strange movements, the demon next to them would whip them. With a loud slap, the skin on their backs split open and flesh splattered everywhere. There were even demons who swallowed human cultivators alive in front of everyone's eyes. The other human cultivators continued to work, as if they were used to it. There was no emotion in their eyes, only numbness, as if being eaten by the demons was a form of release and despair. Yi Chen had never thought that the humans enslaved by the demons would live like this. He couldn't help but think of Earth. If he hadn't defeated the Devil Lord, would Earth have suffered the same fate and his family would have been eaten? Thinking of this, a ball of anger rose in his heart. He glanced at the demonic cultivator with a murderous look. Hall brought him into the dungeon. The environment inside was even worse, and the human cultivators were even more miserable. The dark dungeon was incomparably humid. The human cultivators were locked up in cages all around. Their scapulae were shackled and their cultivation was sealed. They were hung on the wall on the verge of death like walking corpses. Ha ha! A demon's wanton laughter came from ahead. Yi Chen's expression turned grim when he passed by. When Hall saw his expression, he sneered. You humans are destined to be slaves of the sacred tribe. Yi Chen sighed to himself. If not for the fact that he had lost his cultivation base, he would have started a massacre long ago. He saw some young demons torturing and killing human cultivators. Some demons were on the bodies of human female cultivators and even wriggling wildly on the corpses. They were worse than beasts. Yi Chen closed his eyes tightly, not wanting to watch anymore. It was as if he had passed through a very long and dark passage. Yi Chen was thrown into the dungeon. The demons beside him held the torture tools in their hands and were about to pierce through Yi Chen's scapulae. When Hall saw this, he flew into a rage. He kicked the demon away and lectured loudly. This person is a tribute to the Lord Demon Lord. Don't hurt him. Watch him well. Then, he turned around and left. After all the demons had left the dungeon, Yi Chen looked around. Seeing the cultivators imprisoned with him, they all turned their heads to look at him sympathetically. An old cultivator in the corner glanced at him and could not help but say sympathetically, "That coquettish which has another gigolo now." Were they speaking the spirit realm language? Yi Chen's heart skipped a beat. Were they cultivators from the spirit realm? Was this not the demon realm? Thinking to this point, Yi Chen could not help but ask in the spirit realm language, "Fellow cultivators, what is this place?" The old man from before looked at him in surprise. "Fellow cultivator, you don't know that this is the Xingtua tribe?" Yi Chen shook his head and said in a low voice, "To tell you the truth, something went wrong in my cultivation, causing my memory and cultivation base to be damaged." When everyone heard this, they shook their heads in unison. The old man sighed helplessly and said slowly, "This is called the Heavenly Yuan Territory. It's a realm in the spirit realm." Heavenly Yuan Territory? Yi Chen's eyes flashed. Millions of years ago, the spirit realm was still a whole. However, following the successive wars with the demon realm and the underworld, the spirit realm was shattered into countless fragments. The Heavenly Yuan Territory happened to be one of the fragments. However, the Heavenly Yuan Territory was a demon disaster area. Other than a small number of human settlements, most of them were demon settlements. The demon tribe enslaved all human cultivators. Only a small number of human powerhouses formed their own territory and survived the encirclement of demon powerhouses. This demon king Samantha was one of the 36 demon kings of the heavenly origin stage. She was a demon general, and her cultivation was equivalent to the void training stage. This place was called the Shengtua tribe. Above her were 18 demon emperors of the soul severing stage and 9 demon masters of the body integration stage. Subsequently, the old cultivator cried emotionally. Those demon beasts crippled the human cultivator's cultivation base after capturing them. They fed them demonic dissolving powder, and made them do manual labor. They were responsible for mining, feeding demonic beasts, and so on. Some of them, he was sobbing at the end. Yi Chen shook his head lightly. He had seen those people earlier. They were probably living a life worse than death. Thinking to this point, he could not help but worry about the patriarch of hell, Yi Wushuang, and the rest. It seemed like he had to recover his strength as soon as possible. He secretly made up his mind and asked, "Why can't I feel the existence of spiritual energy in this world?" Along the way, Yi Chen was surprised to find that there was no spiritual energy here. His dried-up spirit vein did not absorb any spiritual energy at all. The cultivator next to him sighed and explained, "A demon realm almighty has converted the spiritual energy into demonic energy in this world. This world is no longer suitable for human cultivators to cultivate. Is there any way to absorb spiritual energy to recover my strength?" Yi Chen asked while frowning. The cultivator shook his head. "Yes, the mine outside is used to mine spirit stones. You can recover your strength with spirit stones. However, the demon clan has a strict control over spirit stones. It's almost impossible to get spirit stones." End of this chapter. Chapter 1745. It's a pleasant surprise that there's a spirit stone mine. Flames danced in Yi Chen's eyes. At that moment, the dungeon door was opened again. The light from the torches outside shone in, bringing warmth to the dark and damp cell. Then, a human cultivator swaggered in and pointed at Yi Chen arrogantly. "You're lucky that Queen Samantha has taken a liking to you. Come with me to take a shower and change your clothes. We'll sleep with her tonight." As soon as they saw this person, many of the imprisoned cultivators started cursing and swearing, and every single one of them was a vicious curse. "Primordial Taoist Master, you traitor of the human race! Demon lackey, you'll die a horrible death." This person was called Primordial Taoist Master. He was originally a master stage nascent soul cultivator. After falling into the hands of the demons, he actually fawned over them and was trusted by Queen Samantha. He became her lackey and persecuted other human cultivators. A bunch of lowly slaves. Primordial Taoist Master cursed and walked into the cell. He pulled Yi Chen up and carried him out of the dungeon. "If you don't want to die now, follow me obediently." Yi Chen observed him secretly from the side. This person had flaxen hair and a pair of lazy, bright eyes. He was tall and slender. He looked dignified and handsome. It was no wonder that he was trusted by the lustful queen. He had become a so-called traitor. At the same time, Yi Chen's eyes turned grim. He was surprised to find that this person's cultivation base was at golden core. This primordial Taoist master's cultivation base was not crippled. It seemed like he had obtained it by joining the demons. That meant that he had spirit stones that could be used for cultivation. Yi Chen took a deep breath in and calmed down. He pretended to be in despair and said nothing. He allowed Primordial Taoist Master to take him away. Along the way, Yi Chen saw all sorts of mines and spirit stones, but there was a small group of demon troops guarding them. Yi Chen's eyes flashed. It seemed like he still had to get spirit stones from Primordial Taoist Master to recover his strength. Yi Chen smiled lightly at Primordial Taoist Master and asked, "Master, what's the purpose of so many troops over there?" Primordial Taoist Master turned around and glanced at him. He could not help but feel jealous when he saw that Yi Chen's face was even more handsome than his. In the end, he looked at him with disdain. "You piece of trash. You're about to become the queen's plaything and be eaten. Why are you asking?" Yi Chen stopped asking after noticing that he was so alert. Soon enough, Taoist primordial chaos brought him to a bathroom. The so-called bathroom was nothing more than a lake. Primordial Taoist master pushed Yi Chen hard and shouted, "Hurry up!" Yi Chen plunged into the water before him and looked around secretly. He realized that there was a formation blocking him. He then saw Taoist primordial chaos not far away from him. He took out a spirit stone, sat cross-legged, and began to cultivate. Yi Chen had a thought. He knew that if he were to fall into the hands of the demoness now, he might really be squeezed dry. The spirit stones in Taoist primordial chaos's hands were an opportunity. Thinking to this point, Yi Chen used the sound of flowing water to cover the sound of his footstep. He arrived behind the primordial Taoist master without making a sound. A spirit needle appeared between his fingers and pierced the back of the primordial Taoist master's neck. Taoist primordial chaos Taoist suddenly felt uneasy and alert. He turned around abruptly and saw Yi Chen stabbing him with a spirit needle. Enraged, his quintessential origin energy burst forth. He could not let Yi Chen unleash his quintessential origin energy. Yi Chen's heart sank. Then, he came up with an idea. At the critical moment, demonic energy gathered in his eyes like two deep vortexes, sucking people's souls into them. The demon tribe's secret technique. Demon pupil of incubus. Taoist primordial chaos Taoist master's expression was ferocious, his eyes constantly struggling. Suddenly, the quintessential origin energy that erupted stopped abruptly. His eyes slowly became lifeless and empty as he stood there in a daze. After controlling Taoist primordial chaos Taoist master, Yi Chen secretly exhaled. Subsequently, he found a red embroidered magic treasure on Taoist primordial chaos Taoist master's robe and took out the spirit stones, magic treasures, and so on from his storage bag. Unfortunately, there were only dozens of spirit stones, and they were all low-grade spirit stones. Yi Chen mumbled, "Pauper." Subsequently, he immediately sat cross-legged and cultivated, quickly absorbing the spirit stones. Soon, the dozens of low-grade spirit stones were all absorbed. Meanwhile, his cultivation base had recovered to mastery stage golden core. Yi Chen was overjoyed. He could barely protect himself now that he was improving. On the way here, the heavily guarded mines were bound to be spirit veins. He had to find a way to sneak in and obtain more spirit stones. He looked at the wood-like primordial chaos Taoist in front of him and came up with a plan. 9 transformations of the true spirit. After that, he killed the primordial chaos Taoist and searched his memories. It turned out that the heavily guarded place was a medium-sized mine under the command of Demon Queen Medusa. In the next moment, he used the true spirit 9 transformations to transform into Taoist primordial chaos and strode out of the shower room. The sentinel demon that was dozing off was startled. When he woke up and saw that it was Taoist primordial chaos, he immediately lowered his head and said respectfully, "May I ask what's the matter, Lord Primordial Chaos?" Yi Chen was surprised. Was the primordial Taoist master's status that high? Then, he imitated Taoist primordial's tone and said coldly, "I'm ordered by Demon King Medusa to patrol the nearby mines. I want to go in." The devil cultivator revealed a troubled expression and said in a low voice, "Sir, may I ask if you have Demon King Medusa's warrant? Otherwise, according to the rules, you can't go in." Yi Chen glared at him hatefully and threatened him, "I'll report you for neglecting your duty earlier." The devil cultivator's body trembled. Thinking of his boss's disgusting taste, his face turned pale and he hurriedly said, "Sir, you go in first. I can give you the warrant later." The devil cultivator lowered his head and bowed, sending Yi Chen into the tunnel respectfully. Along the way, he saw many human cultivators holding pickaxes in the dark spirit vein. They waved them numbly, turning a deaf ear to the sound of whips beside them. Even if they hit their bodies, they would not feel anything. Yi Chen could not help but speed up his footstep. He arrived at a deserted place. Bang! He threw a punch forward and used his physical strength to shatter the spirit vein, collecting the spirit stones scattered on the ground. Just like that, he went to several places and mined mountains of spirit stones. Then, he absorbed them crazily in a dark cave. Very soon, his cultivation base stepped into the late-stage nascent soul stage. Something's wrong. Oh no, the spirit vein here has been destroyed. Someone has snuck in. Suddenly, a devil cultivator's cry came from afar. Almost at that moment, the guarding devil army finally noticed the abnormality in the mine. Subsequently, a group of devil soldiers appeared in the mine to search. Yi Chen followed behind the devil soldier quietly. His eyes flashed as he pondered. The primordial Taoist's identity earlier could not enter and exit the spirit vein at will. It should be the demon king Medusa who restricted him. Why don't I transform into a devil soldier now? It'll be more convenient. Yi Chen stared closely. The devil soldiers in groups of two split up to search. A huge hand suddenly reached out from the darkness and grabbed the devil soldier's neck. There was no true origin energy. The spiritual energy in the withered meridians made his physical body stronger. Gotcha. The devil soldier died silently. Yi Chen searched through his memories quickly and performed the true Spirit 9 transformation. The other devil soldier's heart tightened. He gripped his weapon tightly and walked toward Yi Chen slowly. Royce, did you find anything? Royce. End of this chapter. Chapter 1746. No. Royce, who was disguised as a demon soldier, shook his head. Then, let's get out of here. The demon soldier called Nick looked at the pitch-black mine with some fear. As Yi Chen walked out of the dark mine, his eyes opened wide. Blood-red sunlight shone on the demons. Blood energy surged and demonic energy filled the air. At that moment, the demon soldier guarding the door looked at the two people who came out last and asked, "Anything unusual?" Yi Chen immediately reported, "Master Na-Ti, we didn't find any thieves." Subsequently, he said carefully, "Could he have gone to another mine?" Na-Ti glared at him and waved. "Let's go patrol the other mines." The group soon arrived at the next mine and split up to search again. Yi Chen entered another mine. This time, he was much more cautious. He knew that he could not mine the spirit stones by force like last time, or he would attract the demon soldier's attention. Suddenly, Yi Chen noticed a pile of spirit stones before him. He was overjoyed. His eyes flashed and he suddenly shouted at the pitch-black mine, "Who's there?" Nick, who was beside him, was shocked. He pulled out his weapon and asked softly, "Royce, which way?" Yi Chen pointed in a direction and said, "That way. Let's go together." The two of them walked into the depths of the mine carefully. It was getting darker. A strong gust of wind blew, and the torch in Yi Chen's hand was extinguished. In the darkness, Yi Chen turned his head and slashed at Nick. The blade pierced his body and sticky blood splattered everywhere. Nick's eyes widened as if he had seen something unbelievable. Yi Chen put the body away and burned the traces with spiritual fire. He rushed to the pile of spirit stones and put them all into his bag. Yi Chen found a deserted place and absorbed the spirit stones crazily again. Soon, his cultivation base entered beginner god transformation stage. Yi Chen nodded in satisfaction and thought to himself about how to explain that he was the only one left. Suddenly, messy footsteps came from the mine. He listened carefully and released his divine consciousness. He suddenly realized that he was surrounded. Yi Chen frowned and recalled which part of the plan was flawed. He took out Nick's body and realized that the token hanging on his waist was blinking crazily. The blood-red light was bright like a torch in the night. So, this was the flaw. He sighed softly in his heart as killing intent flashed in his eyes. "Since I've been discovered, I'll kill my way out." Boom. At that moment, his entire body erupted with true essence, and like a wild horse, he rushed out of the mine. A demon soldier sensed the outburst of spiritual energy and shouted, "He's here," Before he was done speaking, Yi Chen charged from the side. A gleam flashed and the corpse exploded. Along the way, Yi Chen was like the Grim Reaper with the long saber in his hand. He killed every single person that he came across. The bloody aura on his body was monstrous, and there seemed to be the silhouette of a butcher brewing behind him. General T finally arrived and blocked Yi Chen's way. He glared at Yi Chen furiously. As a great perfection god transformation stage commander, he was fooled by this despicable little bug. Kill! Yi Chen headed straight for Nadi. He wanted to end the battle quickly and escape from the colony as soon as possible. Burning heaven palm! Suddenly, the world turned into a huge furnace. It was as if the flames of the heavens were rising from the ground, refining everything in the world. The General T was instantly burned by the flames that covered the sky and the earth. Demon sacrifice! The General T gritted his teeth. His muscles swelled, and his body became huge like a giant. He wore a glove magic treasure and threw a punch. The huge fist condensed from dense demonic energy collided violently with the flames of the heavens. Bang! The void shook and countless rocks fell like rolling thunder. Die! Yi Chen erupted again. He used his finger as a saber, and a fiery red saber gleam slashed out diagonally. Crossed the sky and the earth. The flames of the heavens suddenly expanded, and not a single blade of grass grew within a radius of 50 kilometers. Boom! The raging flames burned the void, and the black giant was killed with a single slash. Countless miserable cries came from all directions. Not only did the flames burn the body, but they also burned the soul. It was as if his entire body was about to be refined, and it was extremely painful. Rumble! The mine collapsed with a loud bang. Huge rocks flew everywhere, and smoke filled the air. Yi Chen took a step forward. The sea of fire behind him dyed half the sky red. Countless demons died tragically in it. It was like hell on earth. Yi Chen stood proudly in the air, as if he was possessed by a god. He looked down at all living beings and made them kneel. A hint of red finally appeared in the eyes of those numb human cultivators. Looking at that invincible figure, who was actually slaughtering the demons in the demon race's territory, their hearts were already in turmoil. They were incomparably shocked. Yi Chen looked around. Just when he was about to leave, the air suddenly froze. A terrifying pressure pressed heavily on Yi Chen like the sky was collapsing. Cunning human, you want to leave? At the same time, a cold voice exploded in the world. It's Queen Samantha. The demons who were scared out of their wits cried out in alarm. Yi Chen frowned. A beautiful figure floated in the air. She had a head of shiny black hair and a pair of beautiful blue eyes on a round little face. She was captivating, and when she turned around and smiled, she was so charming that she could steal one's soul. Yi Chen frowned. She looked at Yi Chen greedily as her clear and moving voice came. Human cultivator, as long as you give up struggling now and serve me, you can spare your life. Yi Chen smiled in disdain. Slut, what a powerful, bewitching technique. You want me to serve you? Dream on. Kill. Yi Chen unleashed his full strength. Golden light shone brightly in his clenched fist as he threw a punch. Quake hammer. A gigantic fist tore through the air. The powerful pressure seemed to shake the sky and shake heaven and earth. Stubborn fool. Samantha scoffed and waved her hand. Ice spikes condensed in the air. The cold air made one feel a chill that reached the depths of one's soul. It was as if one had fallen into an icy hell. Bang! The golden fist and the ice spikes were shattered. What? He's fighting the demon Queen Samantha at beginner stage God transformation stage? She's comparable to a mastery stage void refinement stage powerhouse? Everyone watched the intense collision in the air dumbfoundedly, shocked. Samantha chuckled softly. The greed in her eyes grew, and she liked Yi Chen even more. She said coquettishly, I really want to tie you to my bed. With a push of his hands, a bone-chilling gust of wind howled. Pillars of ice rose around Yi Chen, trapping him in place. Yi Chen shouted and formed a seal with both hands. An ocean seemed to have appeared behind him. Monstrous waves rose and crashed toward the ice pillars. Ocean overturned seal. Bang! The ice pillars shattered, and countless ice shards floated in the air like diamonds, shining brightly. Yi Chen kicked with both feet. Just when he charged out of the encirclement that was filled with cold air, his heart raced. Danger! A dark ball of light had appeared before Yi Chen out of nowhere and exploded. End of this chapter. Chapter 1747. Rumble! At the critical moment, a black battle armor covered Yi Chen's body. He retreated suddenly, his aura unstable. Medusa looked at Yi Chen in surprise and raised her brows. He's not dead? At the next moment, she clenched her fist. She clenched her fair hand in the air, and an endless chill swept toward Yi Chen. Yi Chen's expression changed. He stomped on the ground and used ground escape. It was as if his entire body was like sand that slid down and disappeared. Lowly human, where do you think you're going? Queen Medusa shouted, and a ferocious vertical eye slowly appeared between her brows. It covered the entire ground as if it could see through everything. Where is he? However, she still could not sense Yi Chen with her Dharma eye. Queen Medusa is invincible. Die, enemy! Haha, that brat is dead for sure. Celebrate, celebrate! Just when the demon soldiers were about to celebrate the queen killing the enemy, they suddenly realized that there was nothing there. It did not seem like the queen had successfully killed the enemy. Instead, it seemed like she had been tricked by the enemy. The great queen had been tricked by a severely injured brat? In an instant, the entire place fell silent. There was not a single sound. You bastards, chase after him. No matter what you do, you must find this person. Medusa's expression was extremely cold. She had been tricked by a human cultivator. If this matter were to spread to the other demons, she would definitely become a laughing stock. Yes, the demon soldiers were in high spirits. In reality, they had no idea where Yi Chen had gone. He had vanished into thin air. However, the queen was furious. If they did not chase after him, they would be courting death. They could only scatter like headless flies. At the same time, thousands of kilometers away, Yi Chen's figure appeared. His expression was slightly terrible. As expected, the demonic energy in this land of demons is extremely turbid. The bit of true origin energy that I've just recovered is flowing away at an extremely fast speed. This was a demon disaster area. There was almost no spiritual energy, but there was endless demonic energy surrounding him. This can't go on. When the spiritual energy is exhausted, my ability will be much weaker than before. I might even drop a level. Yi Chen frowned and flew far away quickly. He tried his best to avoid being searched. In a barren land, the demonic energy was even denser. There were countless demonic plants around, and one could faintly hear the roars of demonic beasts. Bang! Yi Chen pierced a demonic beast with a finger and appeared. Chi chi chi. At the same time, countless demonic chi were like maggots attached to the bone, constantly nibbling away at Yi Chen's true origin force. Do you really think I don't have a way? Yi Chen's eyes flashed. He gathered all of the true origin force in his body. Instantly, endless waves surged and rocks flew into the air. The meridians in his body began to circulate rapidly. Boom! A loud rumbling sound came from his body. He didn't care about the erosion of the devil chi at all. He relied on the super recovery ability of the ancient god body to resist it. Immortal demon rotation, mysterious art. The next moment, Yi Chen let out a furious roar. The immortal demonic light radiated from Yi Chen's body at the same time. The black and white energies were like yin and yang tai chi at this moment. His body structure underwent a drastic change. Kacha, kacha, kacha. His bones and muscles were deforming in all sorts of ways. This kind of pain was incomprehensible to ordinary people. It was as if his entire body was being crushed and reassembled. In the demon disaster area, The only way to move normally was to adapt to the environment here. However, as a human cultivator, it was impossible to do so no matter what. However, Yi Chen was different. The immortal demon rotation mysterious art that he cultivated could cause a shocking change in his body structure. An immortal cultivator could go against the natural order and become a demon cultivator in an extremely short period of time. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The spiritual energy in his body began to change qualitatively. The intense waves of devil chi made Yi Chen seem like he had transformed into a peerless demon lord. Rumble! With a burst of devil chi, Yi Fan was reborn. His body was filled with dense devil chi. After becoming a demon cultivator, Yi Fan directly absorbed the devil chi. His body recovered quickly. Soon, everything was back to normal. Roar! Suddenly, a beast's roar startled Yi Chen. He quickly rushed out of the cave and saw a demon cultivator chasing a 6th-level Hui magical beast. The magical beast was rushing toward where Yi Chen was. Get out of my way! Don't you dare steal my prey! Die! The demon cultivator attacked fiercely and mercilessly. A cold light flashed in Yi Chen's eyes. As expected of a demon cultivator, he attacked indiscriminately. Advanced nascent soul, an ant. With a wave of his sleeve, Yi Chen directly dispelled the other's attack. You! The demon cultivator's expression changed drastically. Then, he turned around to escape. Yi Chen quickly grabbed the top of the demon cultivator's head and killed the magical beast with a palm. Soul search! Hiss, hiss, hiss. As true origin energy flowed, the demon cultivator was controlled by Yi Chen on the spot. All sorts of information entered Yi Chen's mind. Duguhan, Holy Shadow Clan, Sister, Grand Hunting Contest, Die. Just as Yi Fan was searching his soul, Duguhan suddenly detonated his bloodline, wanting to devour Yi Fan. What a joke! Yi Chen scoffed. True origin energy erupted from his body. Instantly, a strong pressure surged into Duguhan's head and he died on the spot. 9 transformations of the true spirit. In the blink of an eye, Yi Chen transformed into Duguhan. Thud, thud, thud. A series of footsteps were heard. Yi Chen quickly cleaned up the scene and pretended to be injured. It was a group of demons led by 2 young men and a young lady. Look, it's a 6th-level Hui magical beast. That's great. What are you doing? That's my brother's. Just when the 2 young men were about to snatch it, the young lady behind them shouted. Brother, brother! Seeing that Yi Chen was injured, the young lady quickly went over to support him. How could this piece of trash kill such a powerful Hui magical beast? It's ours. Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo did not care about the young lady's shouts at all. They charged toward the Hui magical beast in a frenzy. This Hui magical beast belongs to my brother. My brother must win this grand hunting contest. It's related to whether he can awaken the demonic weave and stay in the Holy Shadow Clan. Get out of the way. Ha ha ha, you're thinking too much. Of course, it's first come, first served for such a high-end prize. That's right. Duguyu, you and your sister should just accept your fate. The 2 of them had already arrived beside the Hui magical beast and were ready to steal the fruit of victory. Looking at Duguyu's anxious expression, Yi Chen felt a little sorry for him. He stood up and faced the 2 demons. You 2 bastards, stop right there. The 2 of them were stunned. They did not expect Duguhan to be able to stand even though he was clearly injured. You're courting death. Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo stared at each other coldly. They wanted to make a move. They could not afford to lose such a precious prize. Who knows who's courting death? The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up. As long as they dared to make a move, he would kill them without mercy. Stop. Suddenly, a voice stopped the 3 of them. Chapter 1748. You're all from the Holy Shadow Tribe. What are you doing? The newcomer was an old man with a green bamboo cane in his hand. He gave off a gloomy feeling. Elder Yu, Duguhan is too arrogant. He stole our spoils of war and now he wants to attack us. Dugu Ming was the first to complain. Elder Yu glanced sideways at the nightmare beast, then at Yi Chen and the rest. Realization dawned on him instantly. Then, he frowned. The Qi beast was a 6th-stage magical beast. Its strength was comparable to a perfected nascent soul cultivator. Logically speaking, no one here could kill it easily. However, it was lying there quietly. It was obviously dead. He took a closer look. It turned out that the Qi beast had died in a clean way. It was killed with a single blow. This method was terrifying. Humph, I can't listen to your side of the story. Duguyu, come here and explain. Elder Yu looked at Duguyu. Yes, Elder Yu. Duguyu walked over and looked at Duguluo and Duguming coldly. His anger was obvious. Elder Yu, this is what happened. Duguyu told him what they saw when they came over. Elder Yu understood that the Qi beast was not killed by Duguming and Duguluo. It could only be Duguhan. Although he didn't believe that Duguhan had such strength, he still believed in Duguyu's words more than Duguluo and Duguming. You two bastards, how dare you take Duguhan's hunting results for yourself? What a disgrace! Facing Elder Dudu's reprimand, Duguming and Guduluo still wanted to argue. However, they held it in. Elder Yu was an important figure in the tribe. It was not good to talk back to him. However, they hated Yi Chen even more now. Duguhan, how's your injury? Elder Yu took a deep look at Yi Chen. He took a step forward and grabbed Yi Chen's hand tightly, trying to check his injury. If the Qi beast was really killed by Duguhan, then he was the top genius of the tribe. As an elder of the tribe, he should express his condolences. After all, the Holy Shadow tribe wasn't big, and the cultivation of the people in the tribe was limited. If there was a person with great potential, it would be good news. At the very least, it could boost the morale of the people in the tribe and make them fight for the future of the Holy Shadow tribe. Elder Yu, I'm fine. How could Yi Chen not know the powerhouse's motive? He said with a smile and generously allowed him to investigate. Brother, you're still saying you're fine? Look at how heavily injured you are. This is a rank 6 Ho magical beast. How can you say you're fine after killing such a magical beast? Duguyu came over and continued to support Yi Chen. Nethery, I'm really fine. Yi Chen knew that he had to go all the way. Since he had acted for Duguhan, he had to go all the way. Brother, don't talk back. Let me bandage it for you. Duguyu took out some cotton wool that was specially made for bandaging wounds and strung it on Yi Fan's chest, arms, and other parts of his body. The cotton wool contained medicinal herbs and could help Yi Chen recover quickly. All right, since Duguhan's hunt was successful, let's go back and report this news. Elder Yu no longer doubted. Yes. Everyone agreed and brought the nightmare beast towards the Holy Shadow Tribe's tribe. On the way back, Duguyu had been taking care of Yi Chen attentively. Not only did she take care of his wounds, but she also personally used a secret technique to treat Yi Fan. I didn't expect this little girl to take so much care of her big brother. It seems like they're really close. Yi Chen was touched. After all, it was rare to see a sibling relationship like this in the demon tribe. However, Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo were different. They kept looking at Yi Chen with the corner of their eyes, obviously waiting for an opportunity to take revenge. It seems like these two pieces of trash haven't changed. Killing you two is like squashing an ant. Yi Chen made up his mind. If he did not intimidate these pieces of trash, they would not let it go. After walking for an hour, some scattered houses finally appeared in front of them. At a glance, Yi Chen saw that the entire tribe looked very bleak. It seemed like there were very few resources here. This might be one of the reasons why Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo wanted to snatch the Ho magical beast so much. Duguhan, you and your sister should go back and rest. I'll spread the news of you killing the Ho magical beast to everyone. Thank you, Elder. Yi Chen cupped his hands and bowed, then followed Duguyu home. Their residence was at the edge of the tribe. When Yi Chen entered the house, he could not help but be stunned. How was this a house? There was nothing inside and it was very shabby. It was really a house with only 4 walls. Yi Chen shook his head and sat on the seat next to him. Brother, take a seat and rest first. Wait for me to find some good medicinal herbs, Duguyu said with a smile. Ah, all right. Yi Chen was not used to being taken care of by Duguyu. After all, he was not the real Duguhan. At the same time, in the Holy Shadow Tribe, the news of Yi Chen killing the 6th-level Ho magical beast had spread. You guys heard from Elder Yu, right? Duguhan, that kid killed the 6th-level Ho magical beast and won the grand hunting contest. That's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I heard it too. That kid's strength is only average. How did he do it? No matter how he did it, he's now the hero of our Holy Shadow Tribe. The crowd discussed. Most of them saw Duguhan in a new light and praised him. D*MNB* starred, this kid stole our limelight. We must teach him a lesson. That's right. I don't believe he's that powerful. All right, if that's the case, I'll challenge the elder to a duel. I want to kill this piece of trash with my own hands. Dugu Ming walked directly to the elder's residence and voiced his opinion. Since you have such an idea, we won't stop you. We can also see if Duguhan is the real deal. Elder Yu directly agreed to Dugu Ming's suggestion on behalf of the higher-ups. Thud, thud, thud. Yi Chen was still treating his injuries when hurried footsteps came from outside the door. Duguhan, someone wants to challenge you. The elder has agreed. Come with me quickly. Yi Chen looked at the person and sneered in his heart. He did not have to guess to know that this must be Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo's doing. Let's go. He agreed immediately and followed the person out. On the Holy Shadow Tribe's battle platform, Dugu Ming looked at Yi Chen with a smirk. Trash, let's see who's better in the battle platform if you dare. I don't believe that you killed the Ho magical beast. Yi Chen shook his head slightly. Haha, of course, Trash won't believe it because you don't have the ability or the imagination. You're asking for death. Dugu Ming did not wait for the elder to start and attacked immediately. Kill. With a quick step, Duguhan used the ape demonic fist that he was best at and went straight for Yi Chen's vitals. You dare to show off with that bit of strength. Yi Chen was an immortal cultivator. Since his opponent attacked first, he would give him a surprise. I'll give you a taste of your own medicine. The moment Dugu Ming attacked, Yi Fan understood the essence of his technique. He tilted his body slightly and dodged the fatal attack. At the same time, he punched out. The technique was exactly the same as Dugu Ming's, but the power was doubled. What? Dugu Ming felt an invisible murderous aura rapidly approaching him. It was as if the entire space was spinning. Even his soul was surrounded by the cold murderous aura as if he had fallen into hell. With a scream, Dugu Ming fell to the ground and could not get up. Chapter 1749. At that moment, the surroundings fell into dead silence. Countless young members of the Holy Shadow Tribe stared at the scene with their eyes wide open. Dugu Ming was defeated by his own technique? Since when did that useless Duguhan become so powerful? Everyone was shocked. Dugu Ming was considered a young genius in the Holy Shadow Tribe, but he was up against Duguhan, who was previously looked down upon. However, he was defeated in the first round. It was unbelievable. Brother, well done, brother. Duguyu was terrified earlier. She was afraid that Duguhan was no match for Dugu Ming, so she ran over in a hurry. She even brought medicine with her to save him. However, the scene before her stunned her. She did not expect her brother to become so powerful. B***starred. Dugu Ming slumped onto the ground. Countless emotions flashed through his eyes. There was shock and humiliation. Even he did not expect a useless Duguhan to be able to defeat him. Duguhan, you're asking for it. I'll kill you! Suddenly, Dugu Ming leaped from the ground with a furious roar. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he charged at Yi Chen. "Duguming, what are you doing?" Seeing this scene, Elder Yu roared in anger. However, Duguming did not seem to hear him. The intense humiliation he felt caused him to be on the verge of going mad. He was defeated by Yi Chen in front of so many people. How was he going to face the younger generation of the Holy Shadow Tribe in the future? Oh no, this brat didn't follow the rules. Not only did he sneak attack, but he also used the power of the demonic pattern. Someone exclaimed, "That's a Tier 5 demonic pattern. Once it's activated, its power is unimaginable. Dugahan is in danger this time. If Dugahan dies, it'll be such a waste." Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect Duguming to be so ruthless towards Dugahan, to the point of killing him. Hee, Dugahan, so what if you're powerful? Die in my hands. A cunning smile appeared on Duguming's face. A cloud of black energy formed in his hand, revealing huge black fangs. It seemed like he was going to bite everything in front of him and kill his opponent. Rumble. The air went wild, the space shook, and the fangs attacked Yi Chen. A gleam flashed through Yi Chen's eyes. Of course, such a little trick could not fool him. However, he was disguised as Dugahan after all. In the face of such a fierce sneak attack, according to Dugahan's character, he had to fall. Otherwise, the many pairs of eyes below the stage would definitely see through him. Boom. Ah! As the giant punch landed on Yi Chen's body, he was sent flying 3 meters away directly. Brother, you bastard, you actually sneak attacked. Duguyu was so scared that she almost fainted on the spot. She subconsciously wanted to enter the arena, but she was held back by someone. Dugu Ming wanted to fight back, but he was in the wrong this time. Moreover, there were so many people watching him, so he could not do anything. At least, he had severely injured Yi Chen. To him, that was already very satisfying. "Humph, your brother is dead meat." Scram! Duguyu shouted angrily and went to Yi Chen quickly. Pooh! At this moment Yi Chen spat out a mouthful of blood. This had been brewing for a long time. It was so realistic. "Brother!" Duguyu's eyes were filled with tears. It was a miracle that he could still sit up after being sneak attacked by a Tier 5 demonic weave. "Duguming, what's wrong with you?" Elder Yu slapped Duguming and said with a gloomy expression. "Elder Yu, this is a battle technique to survive in the demon tribe. This is nothing. You can only blame the useless Dugahan for being weak." "What did you say? You're in the right to sneak attack with a demonic weave?" Elder Yu's eyes were cold. "Apologize to Dugahan immediately. Otherwise, you'll be punished according to the tribe rules." "What?" Duguming was shocked. He was a genius in the tribe, but he was completely suppressed by Yi Chen now. The elder had asked him to apologize and even threatened to use the tribe rules. It was obvious that he thought highly of Yi Chen. "Hurry up, stop talking nonsense." Yes. In the Holy Shadow Tribe, the elders were the higher-ups. Nobody dared to go against their orders. Duguming was furious, but he had no choice. He slowly walked to Yi Chen. "Dugahan, I'm sorry." He pretended to apologize, but there was a smirk at the corner of his lips. "Humph, what sincerity is there in the apology of a cunning man?" Scram! "I'm not in the mood to watch you act." Yi Chen got up, pretending to be in pain. He then turned around to leave. "What did you say?" Duguming was humiliated again. His face was green with anger. He was countered by Yi Chen in every way, even after the sneak attack. He did not gain any advantage at all. However, he had no idea that Yi Chen's injury was just an act. Otherwise, he would have died from anger. "Cut the crap and come back." Elder Yu scolded again. Duguming could only lower his head. He had lost big this time. After the battle, Yi Chen became famous in the tribe. He had learned a lot of information from many young men. In the Holy Shadow Tribe, one had to awaken the demonic weave when one reached adulthood at the age of 20. Otherwise, they would be abandoned. There were many types of demonic weave, such as the decay weave, the petrification weave, and so on. They were all innate abilities. The demonic weave was divided into 9 grades. Grade 1 was the lowest while Grade 9 was the highest. Meanwhile, Dugohan would reach adulthood 3 days later. It seems like I have to awaken the demonic weave. Otherwise, I might be chased away. I won't have time to recover my cultivation base and look for Yi Wushuang and the rest. After making up his mind, Yi Chen used Dugohan's various memories to awaken the advanced demonic weave easily. However, he purposely took his time to awaken it. To Yi Chen, awakening the Tier 6 devouring demonic weave was child's play. However, he was considered a genius in the Holy Shadow tribe. After that, Yi Chen and Duguyu's situation gradually improved. The Holy Shadow tribe's upper echelons valued him very much and even gave him many resources. Clack, clack, clack. One day, Yi Chen saw a powerhouse from the tribe running into the upper echelon's residence with a portrait. Yi Chen's heart skipped a beat as he thought of something. He quickly followed and saw that it was him in the portrait. Elder, this is an investigation letter from the Holy Camel tribe. They said they want to search for a human cultivator. This person, oh, there's such a thing. The upper echelons of the Holy Shadow tribe discussed and decided to help with the search. After all, the Holy Camel Queen's ability was extraordinary. They dared not underestimate her. Dugohan, show the portrait to everyone immediately. Help with the search. All right. Yi Chen smiled lightly. He took the portrait and left quickly. Looking at himself in the portrait, Yi Chen shook his head lightly. He thought that although the portrait was exquisite, it was not handsome enough. He would definitely be stunning if he were to draw it. Demon Queen Medusa, you're really haunting me. I can't believe you found your way here. Unfortunately, no matter how smart you guys are, you'll never think that I can switch between immortal and demonic and transform into Dugohan. A faint sneer appeared at the corner of Yi Chen's lips. End of chapter. Chapter 1750. Although Yi Chen's portrait had spread among the Holy Shadow tribe, no one paid much attention to it. After all, this human cultivator had only appeared in the Holy Shadow tribe. It had nothing to do with them. Moreover, even if someone saw Yi Chen in front of him, they would think it was Dugohan. No one knew that he was Yi Chen himself. Brother, it's time to change the dressing. Yi Chen sat cross-legged on the bed, concentrating on cultivating. At that moment, a voice came. It was Duguyu. She did not know what technique Yi Chen was cultivating. She just thought that he was meditating normally. In reality, Yi Fan cultivated high-level constitution and the ancient god 5 elements power. All right. In order not to expose himself, Yi Chen stopped his cultivation and watched Duguyu change the dressing on him. These wounds were nothing to Yi Chen. His ancient god body's resistance was extraordinary. However, in order to maintain the illusion that he was Dugohan, Yi Fan did not use the ancient god power to forcefully heal himself. Little sister, I was severely injured by the nightmare beast. I don't seem to remember the past. Why don't you tell me about the heavenly Yuan territory? Yi Chen looked at the innocent girl and tried to test her. Duguyu didn't think too much about it and immediately said, the heavenly Yuan region is only a small plane in the spiritual realm. However, there are still many demon tribes in the heavenly Yuan region. Do you remember now? The Holy Shadow tribe is only a small tribe. Do you remember who the other demon tribes are? Let me think. I think there's the Holy Camel tribe. Yi Chen pretended to think. Duguyu smiled and continued, in the heavenly Yuan territory, there are many demon tribes. There's the Holy Shadow tribe, the Holy Camel tribe, and the Holy Feather tribe. Duguyu was very detailed and gave Yi Fan a lot of information. From this information, Yi Fan chose the most important one. Even in a small realm like the heavenly Yuan territory, there were still many demon tribes gathered. There were even demon masters guarding it. This was not to be underestimated. If that was the case, Yi Chun thought that he could not leave this place casually. If he encountered a real demon master, an old monster or demon king who had undergone the tribulations, the consequences would be unimaginable with his current cultivation level. From Duguyu's description, Yi Chen also learned that a small tribe like the Holy Shadow tribe also had a mine, and the slaves who worked in the mine were humans. There was no lack of human cultivators among them. Under the oppression of the Holy Shadow tribe, they constantly relied on their own strength to excavate the ore veins and produce spirit stones for the demons to cultivate. It was clear that the grudge between the human race and the demon race was very difficult to completely resolve. As night fell, the entire Holy Shadow tribe was shaken. "Look, what's that?" Someone broke through to Grade 1 demonic general. "It is Duguming." Looks like after Duguhan defeated Duguming the last time, he became courageous and made a breakthrough today. Yeah, to be able to step into such a profound realm at such a young age, Duguming is indeed a genius. This time, Duguming is even stronger than Duguhan. I wonder what kind of expression Duguhan will have when he finds out. Suddenly, all sorts of noises came from outside. Yi Chen's sharp hearing allowed him to hear everything clearly. "Brother, you are now the genius of our tribe. You must cultivate well and don't worry about anything else." Duguyu was afraid that he would be hurt, so she could not help but comfort him. "All right, I won't disappoint you." Yi Chen did not know whether to laugh or cry as he shook his head. How could he take a mere Duguming seriously? Duguyu nodded firmly. She trusted her brother very much. At this moment, Duguming barged in. "Ha ha, Duguhan, you piece of trash. Do you see that? I'm a Grade 1 demonic general now. I have no time for an idiot. Graham." "What did you say? Piece of trash. I'm a Grade 1 demonic general." Duguming wanted to teach Yi Fan a lesson but was stopped by Duguyu. "Don't cause trouble. This is my home. My brother is going to break through to Grade 1 demonic general soon. He's even stronger than you." "What did you say? He's going to break through soon? Ha ha, what a joke. Go away, you're not welcome here." Duguyu pushed Duguming out to give Yi Chen some space to cultivate. Seeing that she had gone far away, Yi Chen began to circulate his true power. He wanted to raise his demon tribe cultivation base as soon as possible so that his status in the Holy Shadow tribe would continue to rise. Only then would he be able to gain more trust and resources. This was crucial for him to recover his cultivation base and increase his cultivation base. Duguming, you're a Grade 1 demonic general, right?" Yi Chen decided to break through his cultivation base and give Duguming a surprise. Immortal demon transformations, demonic chi fusion. He used the demonic chi to clear his meridians. Then, with the help of the ancient god body's strong resistance, he forcefully began to activate the demonic technique. Since his foundation was too strong and he had completely transformed into a demon tribe cultivation base, it was too easy for Yi Chen to break through. In a small tribe like this, one did not need a high cultivation base to get everything they wanted. A Grade 1 demonic general, that's it. The demonic chi in Yi Chen's body surged. In his meridians, dark blood surged rapidly, and he was surrounded by the same shocking demonic chi at this moment. He was a true demon cultivator. In fact, he had even purer demonic chi than the geniuses of the demon tribe. After continuous refinement of the ancient god body, Yi Fan's demonic chi became more complete. Rumble. In his meridians, the demonic chi surged rapidly like a giant dragon crashing into a mountain. If the higher-ups of the Holy Shadow tribe knew about this terrifying aura, they would be overjoyed. This was an absolute genius of the demon tribe. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the dark lightning rushed out of his meridians and surrounded his body, Yi Fan merged with the devouring Mageweth and became a Grade 1 demonic general. Just when everyone was cheering for Duguming to become a Grade 1 demonic general, Yi Chen walked out. "Look, that's Duguhan. Wait, why is his energy so powerful?" There's a grade 1 demonic general. His energy is even more powerful than Duguming's. Hearing the discussion, Duguming ran out too. When he saw Yi Chen, he revealed an expression of disbelief. A grade 1 demonic general? What's so great about him? What a joke. Yi Chen left with his hands behind his back as he spoke, leaving Duguming standing there in a daze. That night, Yi Chen walked out of his room quietly. He removed his disguise. That was the only way he could showcase his ability. He broke into the mining area and found a mine that he had been paying attention to for a long time. I'll rely on you to help me ascend today. Yi Chen released his devouring power and absorbed the mine's energy crazily. Phew, as he exhaled, the true energy in Yi Chen's body flowed rapidly like a ghost. Advanced Stage God Transformation. After some time, he successfully stepped into Advanced Stage God Transformation. If this continues, I'll be able to return to my peak in less than a month. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed slightly. Suddenly, a loud voice came from outside. Who's there? End of this chapter. Chapter 1751. Yi Chen's eyes flashed when he heard the sudden voice. He then moved and charged into the air. It's him, the person wanted by the Holy Tua tribe. Frightened by Yi Chen's powerful aura, the demon could not speak clearly. However, he recognized Yi Chen at a glance. He was the wanted criminal. As a result, the situation here completely alarmed the people of the Holy Shadow tribe. Within the mine, a large number of demon warriors rushed over. Human ant, where do you think you're going? You're wanted by the Holy Tua tribe, yet you dare to steal from our mine. You deserve to die. Die, lowly human cultivator. Several powerful warriors from the Holy Shadow tribe rushed over and surrounded Yi Chen. Let's see where you can run to. This is my territory. A demon who looked like a captain walked over and shouted while pointing at Yi Chen. Seeing that there were more and more demon warriors around him, Yi Chen knew very well that he had to end the battle quickly. A bunch of trash from the demon tribe dares to be arrogant in front of me. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold, revealing a cold, murderous gleam. The entire space instantly became extremely cold. It could even freeze a person's soul and make them fall into an illusion. Such a cold aura seemed to have the effect of a barrier. It was too terrifying. The few demon warriors who surrounded Yi Chen earlier were the closest. They could clearly feel this cold, murderous aura. Their legs went limp and they could barely move. What are you doing? Attack! The captain roared. I want to attack too. The few demon warriors' legs trembled, not daring to move at all. Seeing this, Yi Chen smirked slightly and said, Since you don't dare to move, don't blame me. With a leap, he left an afterimage behind. His sword slashed through the air and blood splattered. The demon warriors froze and fell to the ground. What? Yi Chen's movements were too fast. Even the captain did not see what was going on. He only saw his demon warriors fall to the ground one after another. There was no trace of them at all. When he wanted to attack, Yi Chen was already in front of him. How is it? It was just two simple words. Then, the sword chi slashed, creating layers of illusions. Boom! The powerful sword chi swept through the demon squad, completely annihilated. Dong dong dong! The sound of hurried footsteps rang out. Yi Chen immediately sensed that the Holy Shadow Tribe's combatants had arrived. This was not a place to linger. So. With a few flashes, Yi Chen left the ore vein. It didn't take him long to reach Dugerhan's house. He sat cross-legged on the bed and meditated. His aura remained stable at the early stage of soul formation, as if nothing had happened. What? Ran away? Elder Yu was furious. A mere soul formation stage human cultivator had actually escaped from under the noses of so many experts. He had even killed a small team guarding the mine. What face did the Holy Shadow Tribe have? Everyone was in low spirit. After all, this matter was too disgraceful. Gather everyone! Yes, Elder. Elder Yu gave the order, and all the members of the Holy Shadow tribe gathered on the square. He walked on the high platform, facing the crowd. Understood. That human cultivator is the person wanted by the Holy Camel tribe. He has already arrived at our Holy Shadow tribe and even snuck into our mine. This person is extremely cunning and has many tricks up his sleeve. In order to capture him, we need everyone to surround and hunt him down. Those who can provide information will be heavily rewarded. Yes. Everyone agreed. Deep down, they all wanted to be rewarded. Capturing such a wanted criminal would definitely be a great reward. It would definitely be of great help to their cultivation, especially in an era where resources were so scarce. Brother, this human cultivator seems to be very powerful. We must be careful when we go out, Duguyu said to Yi Chen. Of course. We must all be careful. If we see him, we must report to the elders immediately. This time, he won't be able to escape even if he has wings, Yi Chen said. Yes. Duguyu nodded slightly. Suddenly, a figure flashed past and stood in front of the siblings. Ha ha ha, you won't be able to escape even if you have wings. This time, you won't be able to escape even if you have wings. Everyone turned to look and realized that it was Duguming. He was looking at Yi Chen coldly as if he was about to reveal some earth-shattering secret. Duguming, what do you want? Duguyu asked coldly. Humph, what do I want? He turned to look at the elders and continued. Elder Yu, I saw Duguhan go out alone last night. Then, he sneaked toward the direction of the mineral vein. He's the wanted criminal, the spy. As soon as this was said, the crowd was in an uproar. Duguhan had just obtained the title of the Holy Shadow tribe's genius. Now, Duguming had accused him of being a spy and a wanted criminal. Many of the Holy Shadow tribe's combatants turned to look at Yi Chen. They had not been able to capture that person, so they were filled with anger. Everyone's eyes were filled with suspicion. This time, the situation was not good. Duguming, you're slandering me. My brother was with me last night. He was working hard on his cultivation, preparing to contribute to the Holy Shadow tribe. How dare you frame him? Despicable. You. Seeing Duguyu's aggressive attitude, Duguming was momentarily speechless. At that moment, Yi Chen walked over and looked at Duguming. He said with a faint smile, Duguming, I know you're jealous that I'm more handsome than you and that my talent is much higher than yours. However, I defeated you in front of everyone and even ambushed me. Therefore, I can understand why you want to slander me like this. You. Duguming was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He clearly saw that Yi Chen had gone out at night. Now, he was at a disadvantage, and all the elders were beginning to suspect him. Duguming, although your talent is extraordinary, if you use your talent to slander Duguhan in order to obtain more resources, the elders will never agree to it, Elder Yu yelled angrily. There was a majestic aura in his eyes. Duguming did not dare to reply and could only lower his head. He hated Yi Chen so much that he wanted to kill Yi Chen with his own hands. However, he could not do it. He was on the verge of breaking down. All right, disperse. Be careful when you go out. Report to the elders immediately if you see that human cultivator. Yes. Now that the matter had come to an end, the crowd dispersed. Only Duguming stood where he was, secretly cursing Yi Chen's back. In the following days, Yi Chen cultivated in peace. Of course, he was also looking for opportunities to enter the ore vein to absorb more spiritual energy. During this period, he had made several attempts. Unfortunately, after the previous incident, there were many Holy Shadow tribe combatants guarding the ore vein. It was difficult for him to succeed. Therefore, he could only cultivate on his own in Duguhan's house. The speed was very slow. His cultivation base stopped at the advanced god transformation stage. On the surface, he was a rank 1 demon general, which was equivalent to beginner god transformation stage. Chapter 1752. The annual pet selection convention is here again. That's great. Let's head over quickly. This time, I want to choose a pretty girl. On the third day, Yi Chen was cultivating in the house when he suddenly heard a commotion outside. He got up and saw Duguyu coming in. He could not help but ask, "What's going on outside?" Brother, you're really muddle-headed. Today is our clan's pet selection convention. Pet selection convention? Yi Chen was stunned. It's a pet selection convention where the powerhouses of the demon clan choose human women. Duguyu urged Yi Chen as he spoke. You're a genius in the clan now, so you're qualified. Hurry up and come with me. Alright. Yi Chen agreed readily on the surface, but his heart was cold. They actually chose human women as goods. This demon clan was really despicable. The pet selection convention was held on a high platform in the clan. At this time, it was already overcrowded. Many young demon clan people were squeezing forward, wanting to choose a beautiful human woman to carry on the family line. Yi Chen looked at the high platform and found many human women tied up like livestock. There were mortals among them and female cultivators whose cultivation base had been crippled. Their only function now was to reproduce. It was a very cruel thing. These human women were cultivators before they were kidnapped here. They had their own dignity and pride. However, once they were kidnapped by the demon clan, what awaited them was endless humiliation and trampling. It was a fate worse than death. The women of the demon clan can't bear children, so they can only carry on the family line by kidnapping human women. What a joke! Yi Chen thought about whether he could think of a way to save these women. However, it was very difficult. Although he was a genius of the demon clan, he was not a leader after all. He could not make the other demons completely listen to his arrangement. Such a situation was very common. In order to reproduce, these demon clan madly enslaved other planets and constantly kidnapped women into the realm of demons. Seeing this scene, Yi Chen was incomparably furious. He swore that he would kill all these demon clan people with his own hand. Out of the way, out of the way! Suddenly, a voice was heard. Yi Chen's expression changed, because he was very familiar with the owner of the voice. It was Duguming. Duguming walked to the front of the crowd. Many young demon clan people did not dare to provoke him and made way for him. Young Master Duguming, who do you like? The demon on the high platform asked Duguming below. That's her. Duguming pointed at a human girl. She was tall and slender, and her body was curvaceous. Although her clothes were dirty, it could not hide her beautiful face. She must have been a great beauty before she was kidnapped. The master of the demon race was lustful by nature, and Duguming was no exception. Naturally, he was interested in beautiful human women. No problem, I'll give it to you now. Before Zhang Xian could finish his words, Elder Yu walked over. Everyone, in this demon race's pet selection convention, our group of elders has decided to give a reward to the genius with the fastest progress in the Holy Shadow Clan. He pointed at the girl that Duguming had chosen. Ha ha ha! Looks like I will definitely win this time. Duguming was very confident. After all, he had just become a first-grade demon general and was in his prime. However, within a few seconds of being happy, Elder Yu pointed at Yi Chen. Duguhan, I shall bestow the most beautiful human girl to you. You must give birth to the most talented offspring for our Saint Shadow tribe and let our tribe rise. Yes. Seeing such a situation, Yi Chen naturally agreed to it in order to save the girl. He looked at Duguhan, whose expression was already twisted, and smirked. You be ****starred. Duguhan wanted to curse out loud, but when he saw Elder Yu on the stage, he immediately became listless. He knew that scolding Yi Chen in front of so many people would be a provocation to the Elders' Council. The consequences would be dire. Damn you, Duguhan! You stole my thing again. You're really something. I'll definitely teach you a lesson. Duguming could not stop cursing Yi Chen in his heart. However, it was useless. The beautiful girl was still taken away by Yi Chen, which made him extremely angry. Duguhan, since you're the most outstanding talent in the Holy Shadow Tribe in recent years, the group of elders has decided to bestow you a palace. This is the key to the palace. Take it. Thank you, Elder Yu. Thank you, Elders Council. Yi Chen took the key with both hands and left with the girl and Duguyu. Everyone was very envious. They looked at Yi Chen's back for a long time without turning back. Duguyu was very happy when she arrived at the palace. Before this, she and Duguhan had always lived in the most remote and messy place. Now they could live in such a nice palace. It was like a gift from God. How could she not be happy? Night fell. Duguyu looked at Yi Chen with her little face flushed. Brother, I'll make room for you. She ran away after saying that. Yi Chen was speechless. This little girl must have misunderstood something. He walked into the palace and saw the girl looking at him coldly. Whoosh! Yi Chen was extremely fast. He removed the restriction on the girl and said, "Where are you from? Go to hell." The girl suddenly attacked, wanting to attack Yi Chen. Yi Chen stopped her and said coldly, "I saved you because I can't bear to see you being defiled. If you don't know what's good for you, don't blame me for not showing mercy." Stop pretending. The girl looked at Yi Chen with incomparable hatred. You I won't let you go even if I become a ghost. The girl was about to bite her tongue to commit suicide after saying that. Don't. Yi Chen waved his sleeve and stopped her instantly. Yi Chen sighed softly. I pity you. I don't want you to be defiled. Don't worry, I won't touch you. Cut it out, you be starred. My husband is the Patriarch of Skyfall. He'll never let you go. The Patriarch of Skyfall? Yi Chen's heart skipped a beat. He deliberately provoked her. Is your husband, the Patriarch of Skyfall, as powerful as the Lord Night Shadow Demon Lord of the Holy Shadow Tribe? The girl was disdainful. Even the 8 great demon lords of the Devil Tribe have to retreat when they see my husband, let alone a mere void refinement demon lord. Yi Chen was shocked. He talked to the girl for a long time again. It turned out that the girl was called Fairy Hong Ling. She came from the spirit level and was the Patriarch of Skyfall's woman. She was severely injured when she fought with someone. She was captured by the Devil Tribe, her cultivation base was destroyed, and she was sent to the Holy Shadow Tribe. So it's a fairy from the spirit level. What a pity. The spirit level is the only human gathering place above heavenly origin level apart from the demon disaster area. How do you know so much? Of course I know. I've told you that I'm not your enemy. Starred, don't try to lie to me. Although I can't fight back, my soul will never accept you. My husband, the Patriarch of Skyfall, is a supreme powerhouse on great perfection integration. He's only half a step away from ascension. You're dead. End of this chapter. Chapter 1753. Seeing how staunch the woman was, if he did not reveal his true appearance, he would not be able to convince her no matter what. Sigh. Yi Chen shook his head lightly. His body emitted green light like an immortal descending to the world, incomparably holy. As the immortal demon rotation mysterious technique was activated, Yi Chen's appearance changed drastically. He had transformed from a hateful devil clan member into a human cultivator with an ethereal air. This is my true appearance, Yi Chen said. This. Fairy Hong Ling was shocked. The demon earlier was actually a human cultivator, and such a refined and beautiful man at that. It was unbelievable. You should be able to determine my identity through the aura on my body. My name is Yi Chen, a cultivator who ascended from the lower realm. Due to unknown reasons, I ascended to this demon-stricken area. In order to protect myself, I could only disguise myself and use a secret technique to hide my appearance, pretending to be a demon. Yi Chen's words were very sincere, shocking Fairy Hong Ling. Her hostility toward him gradually dissipated. After all, it was very lucky to see a human who was not controlled in this demon-stricken area. However, Fairy Hong Ling shook her head slightly and said, "Ordinary demons can't see through your method, but if you're in the eyes of a demon master, you can't hide it at all. If you want to live, you have to go to the spirit realm to have a chance. I've thought about it before, but I was severely injured before, so I could only hide in the Holy Shadow tribe to recuperate and recover. Moreover, the spirit realm is the upper realm. I'm afraid it won't be easy to enter, right?" Yi Chen said. Fairy Hong Ling nodded slightly. She suddenly took out a token and said, "This is my identity token. If you go to the spirit realm in the future, you can use it to find my husband. Tell him that I've wronged him." Yi Chen's heart shook when he took the token. Was Fairy Hong Ling going to do something stupid? She trusted him so much and even gave him her personal token. He was indebted to her. He could not bear to watch her commit suicide before him. "Fairy Hong Ling, we still have a chance." At this moment, Fairy Hong Ling laughed self-deprecatingly. "Yi Chen, you don't have to persuade me. My body has long been tainted by demons. This is something I can't tolerate. Instead of living in such humiliation, I might as well die. At least I can leave a good reputation so that my husband can avenge me. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have the chance to take revenge. Fairy, I can take you away. Say no more. My cultivation is now crippled, and I'll only be a burden if you bring me along. We're both going to die here. I've already made up my mind. I only ask that you bring my corpse back to the ancestor." With that, Fairy Hong Ling forcefully circulated her yuan qi and used the last of her strength to commit suicide on the spot. Sigh. Yi Chen looked sad. He did not expect her to commit suicide after all. "Since you are so loyal to your chastity, I will agree to your request." With a wave of his sleeves, true essence swiftly flowed out and a cool breeze caressed his face. Fairy Hong Ling's jade body had already been put away. As long as he saw the old ancestor in the future, he would definitely return it. Burn! Subsequently, Yi Chen launched a palm attack. Flames burned and space shook. The demon warriors guarding inside the palace heard the commotion inside and quickly rushed over. When the demon warriors saw that Yi Chen was alone in the main hall, they were very surprised. Then, they felt their bodies heat up. They suddenly saw the flames burning on the ground and the ashes were still drifting. They were shocked. Yi Chen swallowed the demonic fire in his mouth. He had already returned to his demon form. He pretended to be exasperated and shouted, "Lowly woman, how dare you insult me? Even death cannot wipe out your crimes." Many of the demon warriors did not dare to speak. They all thought that it was because the human woman had offended Lord Dugahan and was destroyed by the demonic fire. Sensing the powerful power of the demonic fire, the demon warriors trembled and broke out in a cold sweat. They were afraid that they would be killed by Yi Chen because of a small mistake. They were extremely respectful of Yi Chen. For 3 consecutive days, Yi Chen had been concentrating on cultivating. His body was recovering and maturing. Clatter, clatter, clatter. A demon warrior suddenly ran into the palace as if there was something urgent. "Lord Dugahan, the holy war is about to begin. The demon lord has arrived personally. Please hurry over." "Night Shadow Demon Lord?" "That's right, it's the Demon Lord." "All right." Yi Chen did not expect the Night Shadow Demon Lord to arrive so soon. He flew up and ran toward the square of the Holy Shadow Tribe. The grand square was filled with the Holy Shadow Tribe members. There were many of them. They looked very excited, as if they were waiting for the arrival of an important person. Rumble! The world shook violently and thunder rumbled. At this moment, a huge dark vortex appeared in the sky. Following that, a person walked out of it. It was the Night Shadow Demon Lord. He was dressed in a black robe and his expression was extremely cold. Wherever his figure passed, the dark night would fall. This was the spreading of dark energy. It was terrifying. The monstrous demonic might shocked everyone. Under the worship of countless Holy Shadow Tribe members, the Night Shadow Demon Lord ascended the high platform. Members of the Holy Shadow Tribe, now, I have important news for you. The Night Shadow Demon Lord smiled coldly. There was a bloodthirsty look at the corner of his mouth. His appearance was chilling. He glanced around. His cold aura was oppressive. Everyone bowed and did not dare to move. I've received orders from the demon monarch Maluo. The Holy War is about to begin. The Holy Shadow Tribe will join the Holy War from today onward. All demon generals and above must follow me. Hearing this, Yi Chen was puzzled. What did the Holy War mean? What had happened that required the Holy War? No matter what, this Holy War must be a major event for the demon tribe. Otherwise, the Demon Lord would not have come personally to assign this mission. He had to understand. Everyone, the Spirit Adept rank Fallen Patriarch lost a woman and led many Spirit Adept rank cultivators to invade our demon disaster area. This action is a challenge. We must guard against it. The 8 great demon lords have joined the war. This time, our Holy Shadow Tribe must make the people of the Spirit Realm return in defeat. A Holy Shadow Tribe combatant added to explain the reason for this holy war. The 8 great demon lords have joined the war? No way? That's too much. The 8 great demon lords have joined the war. Who is this fallen patriarch? How is he qualified? I heard that he's a Tao integration stage cultivator from the spirit realm. He's only half a step away from tribulation stage. Unbelievable! This holy war is going to be incomparably shocking. I hope this is the battle where our Holy Shadow Tribe rises. Everyone was excited and shocked. The Night Shadow Demon Lord had come personally and the 8 great demon lords had joined the war. Such a thing had never been heard of before. This time, they had finally made it to the demon tribe's grand event. The fallen patriarch. Yi Chen's heart trembled and his expression changed. This person was the husband that Fairy Hong Ling had mentioned. Yi Chen did not expect him to be such a sentimental person. For Fairy Hong Ling, he had challenged the 8 great demon lords of the demon tribe. As a human, he could not help but sigh in admiration. End of this chapter. Chapter 1754. This holy war concerns the Holy Shadow Tribe's position in the demon tribe. It's very important. Everyone has to fight with their lives on the line. Don't leave any remnants behind. Elder Yu, I'll leave the rest to you. Thank you for your guidance, Demon Lord. We understand. The elders led the crowd to bow to the Demon Lord. However, the Demon Lord of Night Shadow's figure rose up and dark energy filled the sky. Subsequently, he disappeared into the dark vortex. After the Demon Lord left, the elders stood on the platform again and looked down at the tribe members. Everyone, the Demon Lord personally assigned this mission. The importance of this holy war goes without saying. Let's not delay this. I'll now announce the list of participants. Elder Yu stood in front of the other elders and looked down at the Holy Shadow Tribe warriors. His eyes flashed with coldness. He had to perform well in this battle. Then, the people who would fight would definitely be the best of the best in the clan. The people below were looking forward to it. If they could kill the enemy on the battlefield and prove their worth, they would be rewarded countless times when they returned to the tribe. Listen up. The participant is Dugu Ming. That's great. I knew it. I'll be the first. Dugu Ming was in high spirits. His entire being was filled with battle intent. He glared at Yi Chen coldly, showing off at the slightest thing. Naturally, Yi Chen ignored him and looked at the platform. Dugu Luo. Ha, my name. Dugu Luo was also very excited. Dugu Han. Everyone was shocked when they heard the third name. They did not expect Dugu Han to be valued by the elders so quickly and be able to participate in the holy war. I finally have a chance to leave the Holy Shadow Tribe's territory. Great. Yi Chen was not surprised when he heard his name. Instead, he was happy. Now that there were wanted posters everywhere, it was difficult for him to do anything big. However, when the Holy Shadow Tribe participated in the Holy War, He could openly leave the Holy Shadow Tribe. As long as he entered the battlefield, he could sneak into the human camp and change his appearance to reveal his original appearance. Coupled with Fairy Hong Ling's trust, he would definitely be able to enter unscathed. Following that, Elder Yu read out a few more names. They were all powerhouses of the tribe's younger generation. All of them were excited and wanted to be rewarded for their contributions on the battlefield. The army will depart in 3 days. No delay. Yes. Everyone agreed and returned to their respective homes. Duguyu was depressed along the way, as if there was an indescribable worry. Returning to the palace, Yi Chun took the initiative to ask, "Why are you so depressed?" Reluctance appeared on Duguyu's face. Yi Chun could basically guess the reason. "Brother, can you not go to the battlefield?" Duguyu asked. Yi Chun sighed lightly. As expected, his fake sister still did not want him to leave her. Moreover, she was worried about his safety. On the battlefield, swords were silent. No one could guarantee that they would return safely. Duguyu and Duguhan depended on each other and had no other relatives. Naturally, they did not want Yi Chun to go to the battlefield. "The military order has already been given, I can't disobey it. Moreover, going to the battlefield to participate in the Holy War is a good opportunity for me to make a contribution. You should know my strength. I will definitely return safely." There was determination in Yi Chen's eyes. Although he was not the real Duguhan, he was touched by Duguyu's affection for Duguhan. Hearing this, Duguyu nodded slightly. Yes, I knew that Big Brother is the best. Dugu Ming, Dugu Luo, and the others are no match for Big Brother. Yi Chen shook his head slightly, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Subsequently, Duguyu cooked a good meal for Yi Chen. After Yi Chen displayed his talent, they received a lot of resources, so their diet naturally improved. "Brother, when you go to the battlefield, you must be careful of Dugu Ming and the others. They've always been jealous of your talent. This time, they won't let you go so easily. These two are just clowns in my eyes. They're just 2 pieces of trash. You don't have to worry. Brother, you can't be careless. Don't worry, I know what to do." Yi Fan agreed verbally, but he did not care at all. At this moment, on a mountain in the wilderness, "You're here." A voice rang out. Under the moonlight, a figure appeared faintly. It was Dugu Ming. Dugu Luo said, "I didn't expect the clan to choose a piece of trash like Duguhan." Dugu Ming had a ferocious look in his eyes as he said, "That couldn't be better. The battlefield of the Holy War is very dangerous. We're going up against the spiritual realm's patriarch of Skyfall. His strength goes without saying. Naturally, there are 8 demon lords to fight against him. Moreover, the people from the spiritual realm that he leads must be experts too. As the saying goes, swords are silent, life and death are not concerned. Under such circumstances, even if that piece of trash is accidentally killed, no one will care." Dugu Ming, you're right. On the battlefield, with just a little push, Duguhan will die without a doubt. Ha ha ha! After the discussion, the two of them burst into laughter as if they had already seen Duguhan die in front of them. 3 days later, when the sun rose, the Holy Shadow Clan's bell rang loudly and everyone gathered. Clatter, clatter, clatter! The young powerhouses who had been chosen hurried their steps and quickly gathered at the plaza. At this moment, Elder Yu had brought the elders to send them off. This holy war was no small matter. The clan placed great importance on it. Roar! Suddenly, a beast's roar came from the plaza. Yi Chen looked over and saw several 6-winged earth demonic beasts. These mystical beasts were adept at flying. They were the flying mounts that the Holy Shadow Clan had released for everyone to ride on for this battle. Follow your own team. The order was given. Each 6-winged earth demonic beast was led by a Tier 1 demon general powerhouse, waiting for the team members to go up. Brother, you must be careful. Don't worry, I'll definitely take the biggest credit this time. Yi Chen's aura was released. His vigorous battle intent was imposing without being angry. Duguyu was slightly relieved. She could feel an extremely strong power and spiritual will from Yi Chen. Duguhan, hurry! Yi Chen heard someone shouting but did not respond. He quickly rushed toward the plaza. In the plaza, everyone was already in line. Elder Yu was distributing the spots. Subsequently, warriors were assigned to each earth demonic beast. The warriors got on the earth demonic beast, and the people behind them left. When Yi Chen looked back, he realized that Duguyu had not left yet. She was looking in his direction with a reluctant expression. Yi Chen was slightly moved. After all, Duguyu had always treated him sincerely during this period of time. Go back! He shouted, wanting Duguyu to return. However, not only did she not return, but she also ran forward with the team. What are you doing? Yi Chen shouted. I'm going to send everyone off. Duguyu was also stubborn. She would not go back until she saw Yi Chen disappear. Duguming and Dugaluo only sneered. Yi Chen turned around and shouted angrily. At this moment, Duguyu was squatting on the ground and crying. Sigh. Yi Chen sighed. He could not bear it. End of this chapter. Chapter 1755. Looking at Duguyu getting further and further away, Duguming scoffed. Some people are just unreasonable. Participating in the holy war is a grand occasion for our tribe, yet he's being held back by his sister. Look at how he's crying. How can a brother like him participate in the war? Of course not. He's always thinking about his sister in this holy war. His death is not to be regretted, Dugaluo said in disdain. The two ear-piercing voices did not stop talking. Everyone knew who they were. Yi Chen suddenly turned around while Duguming and Dugaluo retreated quickly. They looked at him coldly, ready to move at any time. Two pieces of trash can only talk behind their backs. You. Duguming and Dugaluo could only glare at Yi Chen angrily. They dared not move recklessly. Their leader was Elder Yu. If they moved recklessly, they would be reprimanded by the elder or even punished. The three of them looked at each other coldly with a tense atmosphere. Stand properly. If anyone falls off the back of this earth devil beast, you'll have to bear the responsibility. At that moment, a cold voice came from the earth demon beast's head. It was Elder Yu. Yi Chen turned around and did not look at Duguming and Dugaluo anymore. Duguming walked forward and bowed to Elder Yu. Elder Yu, what's the exact situation of this holy war? Elder Yu turned to the crowd and explained, this holy war is very important. We have to go to a place called Tianfeng Gorge in the Tianyuan region. It's the front line of the war. We've heard of Tianfeng Gorge before. The terrain is steep and there's no way out. It's a place of life and death, Duguming said. Elder Yu smiled and continued, of course, Tianfeng Gorge is the place where humans and demons are in a fierce confrontation. Once they start fighting, it'll be a fight to the death. What are you afraid of? Hearing what Elder Yu said, many demon warriors were timid and did not dare to answer. We're not afraid of death, Duguming and Dugaluo said. Very good. We can only win with such spirit. Seeing Duguming and Dugaluo being praised by Elder Yu and showing off to him, Yi Chen treated it as two fleas jumping around. Elder Yu continued, the demons are taking this holy war very seriously, so the rewards for those who have contributed are very generous. Elder, what exactly is the reward? Everyone asked. Anyone who kills a soul formation stage human cultivator will be rewarded with a divine demon fruit. Holy demon fruit? That's great. Everyone cheered and jumped for joy when they heard such a reward. They rubbed their palms together and were extremely excited. The so-called holy demon fruit was extremely beneficial to the devil race. Once a devil general consumed it, they would be able to rapidly increase their cultivation base. It was a shortcut to cultivation, and everyone in the devil race wanted to obtain the holy demon fruit to quickly break through. Yi Chen scoffed in his heart. Such a reward was of little value to him. It was almost useless to him, so he was not interested in it at all. While they were chatting, a gale suddenly howled and swept across the sky. Everyone, sit down! Yes. No one dared to be careless, and they all circulated their demonic arts to calm their minds. On top of this earth demon beast, it was as if they were on flat ground and they could move freely. Hoo! Under the Elder's control, the earth demon beast began to speed up. Over the course of 2 days, the earth demon beast had sped up several times, and the group had finally reached the periphery of Sky Wind Gorge. Everyone, when we enter Tianfeng Gorge, the wind might increase dramatically. Everyone must calm down and stabilize their bodies. There must be no accidents, Elder Yu said. We understand. Everyone nodded and acted according to the Elder's instructions. However, the dark clouds in front of them were like dancing demons. From time to time there would be thunder and lightning, which was terrifying. For many of the demons, it was their first time on such a huge battlefield, so they could not help but feel excited. The huge Tianfeng Gorge was like a giant dragon hovering above the peak, giving off a great pressure. Everyone was amazed. Above the canyon, countless war fortresses stood horizontally like giant beasts of the galaxy. Hoo! The wind howled in the gorge, and the sky was filled with murderous intent. We're about to land. Everyone, pay attention. Yes. Elder Yu released his power, suppressing the earth demon beast's mental resistance, and rushed into the gorge. Roar! In the meantime, a series of roars came from the gorge, like the roar of a god of war, sending chills down everyone's spine. After passing through many obstacles and strong gales, the earth demon beast finally landed next to a fortress in the gorge. Yi Chen saw countless devil army marching. Their movements were extremely fast. Every step they took caused the ground to shake. It was a majestic sight. At that moment they saw a group of people walking toward them from afar. The people in front are from the sacred Nether tribe. Maintain your etiquette. Everyone stood still, not daring to move. Clack! The person walking at the front was tall and sturdy. His gait was like that of a dragon or a tiger, and his imposing manner was overbearing. He was clearly a powerful member of the devil race. Are you demon warriors from the sacred Nether tribe? We are. Thank you for welcoming us. You're welcome. I'm the sacred Nether Demon Lord. Just follow me. Oh, it's the Lord Demon Lord. Listen up. Elder Yu led the group and bowed to the sacred Nether Demon Lord. We're at war. Don't be so polite. Let's go. The sacred Nether Demon Lord led the group into the demon tribe's stronghold in Tianfeng Gorge to rest. Upon entering the stronghold, various military facilities stood tall with various demon flags fluttering in the wind. It was an inspiring sight. If you want to rest here, the war will begin in 5 days, the sacred Nether Demon Lord said. 5 days? Why? Everyone asked in confusion. The war was about to begin, but we suddenly found out that there's something wrong with the human camp. What's wrong? I don't know the specifics, but it seems to be an internal conflict. Currently, they're only defending and not attacking. Their behavior is strange, so we have to be careful. Lord Demon Lord, you've thought things through. We're impressed. Ha! The sacred Nether Demon Lord sneered, and led the group forward. There'll be a welcoming ceremony at night. At that time, all the demon tribe that came to participate in the holy war will participate. Be prepared. Thank you. Elder Yu thanked on behalf of the group. Then, the sacred Nether tribe was arranged to rest. During the resting period, Yi Chen quietly walked out. Since he had come to the place where the two sides were confronting each other, he did not want to give up any chance to leave quickly. However, when he walked out of the resting area, he saw demon generals and demon soldiers everywhere. Moreover, he had never seen these people before. The security was extremely tight, so he could not help but feel troubled. What are you doing? Suddenly, a demon general stared at Yi Chen and shouted sternly. I'm a demon warrior from the sacred Nether tribe. I'm here to help, Yi Chen replied. Now's not the time to fight. Go back immediately. Yes. Yi Chen saw that the other party was extremely strict and could only give up. As night fell, the surrounding space became chilly and the temperature plummeted. Suddenly, flames shot into the sky in the distance. The welcoming ceremony had begun. Chapter 1756. The welcoming ceremony has begun. Everyone, follow me. Yes, Elder. The crowd followed behind Elder Yu to welcome the grand event. Yi Chen realized that there was a huge gap in front of him. Subsequently, a flight of stairs appeared. The welcoming ceremony will be held below. Everyone, pay attention. We're representing the Holy Shadow Tribe's honor. Behave yourselves later. No one is allowed to cause trouble. Yes. Although everyone agreed, the dignity in their hearts still caused their competitive spirit to overflow. They were all members of the devil race, and the competitive spirit in their blood couldn't be changed. After walking for a while, Elder Yu said again, "The Holy Nether Tribe, Holy Moon Tribe, Holy Camel Tribe, and other demon tribes have brought their elites here. You're young and impetuous. Let me remind you that if you don't listen to me, you'll have to bear the consequences." Hearing this, Duguming and Dugaluo only smirked coldly. They did not mind. The huge stone tunnel appeared, and everyone entered the underground space. As soon as they entered the tunnel, they encountered a group of people rushing past them. They were aggressive and did not care who was around them. Move. Suddenly, a person dashed past Yi Chen and pushed him away directly. He was very arrogant. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold with killing intent. That person wanted to go over, but sensing Yi Chen's powerful killing intent, he suddenly stopped and turned to look at Yi Chen. "What are you looking at?" That person shouted coldly. "I'm just looking at a mad dog." Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly as he replied coldly. "Do you know who I am?" "Just a dog. Do I need to know?" D****. That person stood up abruptly. Demonic energy gathered in his palms and attacked Yi Chen. "Sai, don't be rash." Elder Yu stood between the two of them. "We're all here to participate in the welcoming ceremony. Why are you so tense?" Elder Yu said. "Humph, I'm an elite warrior of the Holy Sun Tribe. How dare you weaklings block my way? Do you have a death wish? You're just a headless fly. How dare you call yourself a powerhouse?" Yi Chen replied coldly. "You." That person's entire body was covered in flames. The Holy Shadow Tribe did not dare to take it head-on and retreated. "Useless." Yi Chen's eyes narrowed. Demonic chi surged and the Tier 6 devouring Mageweth disturbed the dark vortex. The endless flames were all absorbed by the devouring vortex, leaving nothing behind. The Holy Sun Clan elite warrior was shocked. The move earlier was the supreme grade Inferno Palm, which could easily suppress even a Tier 1 demon general. However, Yi Chen had forcefully absorbed it and did not hurt him at all. This situation shocked him. "Alright, we're all from the Fiend race. You'd better leave." Elder Yu said. "Humph." That person left resentfully. "Dugerhan, you are too impulsive. The Holy Sun Clan, the Holy Moon Clan, and the Holy Star Clan are the noblest among all the clans of the Devil race. You shouldn't have offended them," Elder Yu said. "Does the Holy Shadow Tribe have to accept being trampled on by others?" Yi Chen turned around abruptly and walked away. "How dare you be rude to an elder? You deserve to die. Too arrogant." Duguming and Dugaluo scolded Yi Chen, while Elder Yu shook his head lightly and proceeded to move forward. As Yi Chen was moving forward, he suddenly sensed a familiar aura. He turned his head and saw that it was the Holy Hunchback Tribe. The leader was a Tier 1 demon lord from the Holy Hunchback Tribe. Clatter, clatter, clatter. At this moment, Elder Yu had also arrived with the crowd. "Isn't this the Holy Shadow Tribe? A bunch of useless people. How dare you participate in the holy war? Aren't you afraid of dying without a burial place?" As soon as the two groups met, an elite warrior from the other side spoke rudely. "Humph, even trash like you dare to come, let alone elites like us? If I remember correctly, the Holy Hunchback tribe doesn't have any battle merits. Dugu Ming stepped forward to accept the challenge. Following that, the two devil clans taunted each other as if they had some deep hatred for each other. Elder Yu, control your people. Suddenly, the Tier 1 demon lord stepped forward, his aura suppressing everyone. I think you should control your people first. Elder Yu did not want to be outdone. He stepped forward and confronted the Tier 1 demon lord. Instantly, the two auras collided with each other, causing the surrounding space to freeze. Both of them were Tier 1 demon lords. Their abilities were powerful and their auras were oppressive. With that, everyone retreated and watched the two powerhouses fight. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Lightning flashed and rocks flew. Elder Yu and the Tier 1 demon lord were competing with each other, neither willing to yield to the other. The elite warriors from both sides also shouted loudly, cheering for their leaders. Yi Chen thought to himself, the Holy Shadow tribe and the Holy Hunchback tribe were the closest, so they had the most conflicts. There had been countless small conflicts before, but he did not expect them to be at daggers drawn when they met. The elite warriors were in a stalemate, and both sides continued to fight. The two powerhouses' auras collided with each other, affecting the people behind them. The situation was getting dangerous. Suddenly, a young man in black from the Holy Hunchback tribe walked forward, his eyes fixed on Yi Chen. I believe this must be the Holy Shadow tribe's most famous person recently, Duguhan. I heard you defeated that trash, Dugu Ming? As soon as he said that, Dugu Ming suddenly stepped forward before Yi Chen could do anything. His expression instantly became extremely ugly. Rage was brewing in his body as he said angrily, Xian Quan, don't be so full of yourself. How dare a loser like you talk to me? Xian Quan's face was full of disdain, as if Dugu Ming did not exist. He turned to look at Yi Chen and said, Duguhan, I'll challenge you in the arena tonight. I hope you won't disappoint me. Yi Chen's cold eyes locked onto Xian Quan, but he said nothing. Haha, don't be afraid to fight. Otherwise, the Holy Shadow tribe will become a laughing stock. With that, Xian Quan left with the Holy Hunchback tribe's Tier 1 demon lord. Duguhan, you're not going to fight back? How cowardly! Dugu Ming stepped forward and shouted. Yi Chen suddenly turned around and Dugu Ming retreated. This trash can only defeat you. Why do I need to fight back? Let's see who's better in the arena. These words were imposing and tough, and Dugu Ming could not refute them. Yi Chen, don't underestimate your opponent. This so-called welcoming event is actually a competition between all parties, but it's all from the younger generation. Yi Chen nodded slightly. So that was why that brat wanted to challenge him in the arena. Elder Yu continued. This Xian Quan used to be Dugu Ming's competitor, but he became a Tier 1 demon general last year because he would mock Dugu Ming whenever he saw him. That has nothing to do with me. Yi Chen shook his head nonchalantly. To him, whether it was Xian Quan or Dugu Ming, it was just a battle between ants. Sigh, Duguhan, this person is an elite warrior of the Holy Hunchback tribe. It's best to be careful. Got it. Yi Chen replied and continued walking, not taking it to heart. Chapter 1757. Under Elder Yu's lead, everyone arrived at the underground exchange venue. There was a hall here that was extremely wide. It was at least dozens of miles away. It was obvious that a lot of effort had been put in. Even so, it was still packed with people. Dozens of arenas of various sizes were placed in the field. It could be seen that, as Elder Yu had said, this grand meeting was not only to welcome the people, but also to prove the strength of each tribe. Yi Chen scanned the crowd. Most of the demon warriors here were young people. This was probably intentional. The demon tribe hoped that the young people could find the feeling of glory in battle and fight to show their courage. Be careful, don't cause trouble. With that, Elder Yu left. He was going to the special circle of the demon lords of the major tribes. Yi Chen and the rest found empty seats and sat down, waiting for the event to begin. Suddenly, there was a commotion ahead. Yi Chen looked over and felt a powerful aura approaching. Look, it's the Holy Sun Clan's devil heir. He's majestic and every step he takes gives people great pressure. I'm in awe of his strength. Yeah, I heard that many devil heirs are participating in this event. I didn't expect to see them as soon as I arrived. They're too powerful. There's more behind. That's the Holy Star Clan and the Holy Moon Clan. It seems like the three clans are purposely appearing together to intimidate everyone. Everyone looked at the passage. 3 powerful demon warriors walked in. They were the devil heirs of the 3 leading clans. They represented the future of the demon disaster area and were greatly sought after. The 3 of them appeared at the same time and came to the seat of honor. They smiled at each other and sat down. Following that, many devil heirs from other clans appeared as well. However, the commotion they caused was much smaller. They could not compare to the 3 devil heirs. After the 3 sat down, many demon warriors from other clans came forward and bowed. The 3 devil heirs have arrived. I'm in awe. Please take care of us in the future. With that, the cultivator took out an exquisite treasure artifact and handed it to the Holy Sun Clan's devil heir. Ha, you're too kind. The devil heir took the treasure artifact and only smiled coldly. He did not do anything else. The few people behind also presented their treasures to the devil heirs of the other 2 clans. Seeing this scene, everyone was envious. They didn't expect that there would be so many people from different tribes who wanted to befriend them while they were still at the Devil Sun stage. When they grew up, their future would be limitless. Yi Chen had been observing all this while. He realized that the cultivation base of the devil heirs of the 3 major tribes had reached the level of a rank 9 devil general, which was equivalent to a master stage soul transformation stage. He must be one of the best among the younger generation. It was no wonder that so many people wanted to befriend him. At that moment, the sound of footsteps rang out, and the sacred nether race appeared. On behalf of the Holy Fiend race, I would like to welcome all of you. The Devil Monarchs have agreed to hold this conference in order to strengthen the friendship between the devilish tribes and strengthen their resolve to fight the common enemy. Thank you, everyone, for coming to participate in this event. We will be offering 3 holy demon fruits as a reward for this exchange. I hope that all of you young heroes will work hard to obtain them. Alright, this holy demon fruit is mine. 3 divine demon fruits have increased my cultivation by quite a bit. This is a good opportunity to improve myself. I must strive for it. The youths of many tribes below began to cheer, as if they were determined to obtain the divine demon fruit. In that case, everyone, please find your own social circle. With that, the sacred nether race left the stage. Everyone walked around and found their own social circle. Yi Chen did not move. He just sat where he was. He was still thinking about how to leave the demon disaster area as soon as possible and find the location of the Patriarch of Skyfall and the others. Not far away was the Holy Camel race's social circle, which included the Sacred Abyss race and other devilish tribes. A Sacred Abyss race demon warrior walked to the Holy Camel race's Xian Quan and asked with a smile, I heard that Brother Xian Quan met the Holy Shadow race's recently famous Dugahan outside the gate? Xian Quan turned to look at that person and said with a disdainful expression, He's just a piece of trash like Dugaming. Later, I'll let him know that the Holy Shadow race is far inferior to the Holy Camel race. Brother Xian Quan, are you really that confident? Are you doubting me? I wouldn't dare. Just wait and see. With that, Xian Quan took the lead and walked straight to the Holy Shadow race's camp in the distance. He stopped and looked straight at Yi Chen. Dugahan, do you remember what I said earlier? Yi Chen sat upright, as steady as Mount Tai, ignoring Xian Quan's shout. This made Xian Quan's eyes turn cold, and a fierce glint appeared in his eyes. Now I want to challenge you. I wonder if you dare to accept the challenge? Xian Quan had a provocative look on his face, completely looking down on Yi Chen. In his opinion, Yi Chen was definitely no match for him. Soon, Xian Quan's challenge attracted everyone's attention. That person is Xian Quan of the Holy Camel race. He's very powerful. I heard that the Holy Camel race and the Holy Shadow race have always been at odds. This time, he really picked one. The person he's challenging is the Holy Shadow race's Duguhan, who has recently become famous. I heard that he has already stepped into the Tier 1 Demon General stage. He can't be underestimated. In the crowd, there were discussions about the two's identities. At this moment, the 3 demon princes in the main seats of the event all looked over with interest. This made the other demon warriors even more interested. In the face of such provocation, Yi Chen did not want to pay attention. He was still thinking. Ha ha ha, it's true. That Duguhan doesn't dare to accept the challenge. What a piece of trash. In recent years, the Holy Shadow race has been at the lower end of the major demon tribes. It's difficult for them to improve. This Xian Quan is a genius of the Holy Camel race. Last year, he stepped into the Tier 1 Demon General stage. Now, his strength is even more profound. What's there to say about this match? The result has long been decided. That's right, that's right. That Duguhan can't be Xian Quan's match at all. He's already too scared to answer. In the crowd, everyone was optimistic about Xian Quan. All kinds of mockery toward Yi Chen could be heard. In the Holy Shadow Race's camp, seeing that Yi Chen was really being challenged but did not respond, Dugu Ming and the others could not help but gossip. Look, as the representative of our Holy Shadow Race, Duguhan doesn't dare to accept the challenge. This is a great humiliation. Dugu Ming took the initiative to mock Yi Chen in front of everyone. That's right. Duguhan doesn't dare to accept the challenge at all. His opponent is Xian Quan. Dugu Luo also said. As soon as this was said, everyone from the Holy Shadow Race looked at Yi Chen with worried expressions. If he really did not accept the challenge, the Holy Shadow Race's reputation would be ruined. Yi Chen suddenly stood up. His eyes shone with a cold light like a dragon rushing out of the abyss. His eyes were like lightning, frightening people's hearts. Dugu Ming and the others turned pale with fright and retreated one after another. I didn't want to bother with you, but since you insist on seeking death, I can only fulfill your wish. Meeting everyone's gaze, Yi Chen stepped forward. To be continued. Chapter 1758. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone was shocked. Yi Chen's words were extremely arrogant. Before he went on stage, everyone guessed that he didn't dare to accept the challenge, but they didn't expect that he would be so forceful as soon as he appeared. Who wouldn't be shocked by such domineering words? Whoosh! Yi Chen moved and flew into the arena. He stared at Xian Quan coldly and said, "Come up and accept your death." How could Xian Quan tolerate such arrogant words? He was a genius warrior of the Holy Camel tribe. Now that he had been humiliated like this, he would never let Yi Chen off. Arrogant kid, you deserve to die. Xian Quan flew into a rage. He flew onto the stage and released his aura, engulfing the entire battlefield. He was like a ferocious tiger that was about to devour its prey. However, Yi Chen only sneered. On the independent fighting platform, he was like a supreme being as he revealed a look of disdain. Such a scene made the powerhouses who hadn't paid much attention to this battle turn their heads to look over. Although neither of them were the super geniuses in everyone's hearts, this battle had become the focus of everyone's attention. Yi Chen, do you dare to bet your life? Xian Quan was filled with killing intent. He was completely infuriated by Yi Chen's actions and even lost his mind. Yi Chen scoffed. He had expected this. Why not? Yi Chen responded coldly. For a moment the crowd cried out in shock. They had thought that this was just an ordinary duel. But at this moment it was a bet of life and death. Clearly, the nature of this duel had changed. The host of the sacred Nether race stood up and looked at the two of them. Don't be rash, he said. This is an exchange. We're just here to exchange pointers, not to bet our lives. Everyone nodded. Everyone was here for the rewards, but no one wanted to fight to the death here. After all, the greatest enemy of the human race was still waiting for them. Ha ha, such an arrogant man. If I don't teach him a lesson, I will not be a warrior of the Holy Camel tribe today. Xian Quan let out a few loud laughs and directly stepped forward, not backing down at all. It was clear that he wanted to sign a life and death contract. Duguhan, do you dare to sign a life or death contract with me? There was a provocative look on Xian Quan's face. Xian Quan wasn't just being mean, he was trying to regain his face. He was certain that Duguhan did not dare to take the gamble. Therefore, he wanted to make Duguhan kneel down and apologize, and then humiliate him in every possible way. This was his plan. Of course, if Duguhan really dared to gamble, then he would die a tragic death. No matter what the result was, it was what Xian Quan wanted. The corner of his lips curled up slightly. Basically, he was certain that Yi Chen dared not take the bet. Betting your life? Just to my liking. Yi Chen's sudden response shocked everyone again. At the same time, Xian Quan was also stunned. He did not expect Yi Chen to agree so easily. Bluffing won't save you, Duguhan. Since you agree, then come. The two of them walked to the center of the arena at the same time and signed a life and death contract with the sacred Nether Tribe's representative. After signing the contract, the two of them left their true essence marks on the paper and then separated. Such a situation was far beyond everyone's imagination. Even the three devil heirs were looking at the battlefield at the same time. Naturally, they paid attention to Yi Chen because no matter how they looked at it, he was at a disadvantage. However, he had agreed so readily. His domineering attitude shocked everyone. The three fiend heirs exchanged glances and smiled. One of them said, "This person's personality suits my taste. If he doesn't die this time around, he can be my subordinate and be at my beck and call." The other two laughed at the same time. "You're really in a good mood. This kind of trash from a small tribe is only good at talking. Do you really think that he has the ability to defeat Xian Quan?" "There's no harm in watching," the fiend heir replied. As soon as the life and death contract was signed, the atmosphere on the battlefield suddenly changed. Killing intent filled the air, attracting the attention of the crowd. On the second floor, many of the demon lords were also interested. They all looked down at the fighting platform with interest. This elder Yu suddenly stood up. Yi Chen was one of the few talented warriors in their tribe in recent years. Signing the life and death contract was too risky. His expression changed, and he stood up to stop him. "Elder Yu." At this moment, the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord also stood up and blocked Elder Yu's way. The Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord said with a faint smile, "Elder Yu, why are you so impatient? Don't you have any confidence in your tribe's genius warrior?" With that said, Elder Yu was in a dilemma. "Haha, Elder Yu, he's right. A battle between geniuses is about fairness and bravery. The Holy Camel Tribe can afford to play, but can your sacred Shadow Tribe not? People of the Demon Tribe, fight to the end. Such a grand event should have such a battle to liven things up. Elder Yu, I think you're guilty. Could it be that your tribe's genius is fake? That you deliberately spread it to deceive us? If you're the real deal, you shouldn't be afraid to fight." The other demon lords mocked and ridiculed. Elder Yu could not stop this life and death battle. He could only sit down and hope that Yi Chen could defeat his opponent and save his life. In the arena below, Yi Chen and Xian Quan had signed the life and death contract. The Holy Nether Tribe's host confirmed that it was valid, and the battle was about to begin. Everyone was excited. They wanted to see who would be the one who would be killed. The life and death contract is valid. Now let the battle begin. The Holy Nether Tribe's host ordered. Yi Chen and Xian Quan locked onto each other at the same time. Die. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Xian Quan was the first to move, wanting to gain the initiative. Powerful demon energy filled the world. Waves of demonic energy spread uncontrollably from his body. The speed at which he moved and the density of the demon energy was beyond everyone's imagination. This move is too fast. Kills in an instant. Amazing. Dugerhan can't possibly take this move. Last year, Xian Quan became a Tier 1 demon general. In terms of strength, he's definitely above Dugerhan. If the battle ends in one move, it'll be too boring. Everyone laughed. They were waiting for Yi Chen to fall to the ground. Such a useless move. What a waste of time. However, Yi Chen turned around and faced his back to Xian Quan. Everyone was stupefied. This was a life-and-death battle, yet there was still this type of method. Just how arrogant was this person? He was simply insane. Tier 6 Devouring Rune. Yi Chen's body emitted a dark light. The Tier 6 Devouring Rune bloomed on his back. At this moment it was like a dark rose, shocking everyone. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The powerful demon energy on Xian Quan's body automatically surged toward the demonic flower on Yi Chen's back. Gradually, Xian Quan even felt that his control of the demon energy was having problems. It was unbelievable. This is impossible. Although he was unwilling to believe it, Yi Chen had easily absorbed the demon energy. He had no strength to attack at all, and his move was broken on the spot. This method of breaking the technique made countless devil dwellers exclaim in admiration. Elder Yu on the second floor laughed. The Holy Camel Tribe's demon king looked terrible. Humph! However, Xian Quan sneered. He did not believe that Yi Chen had such strength. It was just a coincidence. He had released his Tier 3 demon general power. It turned out that he had been hiding his strength. He's a Tier 3 demon general. With such a cultivation speed, there's no suspense in this battle. Feeling such a shocking demon energy, everyone looked at Xian Quan again. Chapter 1759. Not only did his last move fail, but he had also embarrassed himself. Xian Quan was enraged. This time, he must take Yi Chen's life to relieve the hatred in his heart. Dugerhan, give me your life. Xian Quan released the cultivation base of a Tier 3 demon general. At this moment, his strength seemed to suppress Yi Chen. Everyone stared at Xian Quan, waiting for him to knock Yi Chen down or even kill him. However, at this moment, Yi Chen suddenly turned around. Like a tiger roaring in the valley, all the beasts were frightened. Kill! Xian Quan was unstoppable. The surrounding wind blew violently. Demonic energy soared into the sky. The dark energy approached Yi Chen, trying to devour his vitality. Before the real killing move arrived, he would feel a little fear. However, what kind of person was Yi Chen? This bit of dark energy was trying to affect his will. It was ridiculous. Holy Shadow Demonic Technique, kill! Yi Chen flew up. Demonic energy erupted from his body. Thousands of shadows appeared behind him, shocking everyone present. What is this? Which one is the real Dugerhan? It seems like each shadow is a great threat. How can we tell? This is the Holy Shadow Tribe's great divinity. I heard that no young man in the tribe can cultivate such a demonic technique. Seeing such a terrifying scene, everyone was shocked. Their view of Yi Chen changed rapidly. They even thought that Yi Chen might have the upper hand. Impossible! Xian Quan roared. The demonic energy in his body gathered into countless sharp swords and shot forward. No matter how many shadows there were, they were all destroyed. However, things did not go as he wished. Yi Chen had already hidden in one of the shadows, so most of Xian Quan's attacks missed. Yi Chen forcefully broke through and locked on to Xian Quan's flaw. Holy Shadow Demonic Technique. Shadow Kill Formation. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At this moment, countless phantoms shuttled back and forth, making it impossible for Xian Quan to find a target. Each of the phantoms could deal a heavy blow, and each attack was something Xian Quan was unable to defend against. At this moment, he was like a live target. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The shadow blades kept flying, causing countless wounds on Xian Quan's body. Blood dripped, and Xian Quan was in a fatal danger. Dugu Han actually cultivated the holy shadow demonic art to the 5th level. What a genius! Elder Yu was shocked. Although he knew that Dugu Han was talented, he did not expect him to be this powerful. In the Holy Shadow tribe, there was no one who could cultivate the holy shadow demonic power to the 5th level at this age. Yi Chen had done it. Die. Yi Chen counterattacked and was about to reach Xian Quan. At this moment, Xian Quan was completely controlled by Yi Chen's holy shadow demonic technique. He had no strength to resist at all and was like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Oh no! Xian Quan revealed a horrified expression. Was he really going to die at the hands of this person before him? Was everything over? Dugu Han, stop. This is just an ordinary spar. He was so terrified that he was babbling nonsense. He had even forgotten what he had promised. Normal sparring? Die. Yi Chen did not hold back at all. Such a despicable person deserved to die here. At the critical moment, a powerful demonic energy rushed down from the 2nd floor and attacked Yi Chen. Ah, be careful! Many demon warriors shouted at Yi Chen. Yi Chen felt an extremely strong murderous intent. He looked at the 2nd floor from the corner of his eyes. Someone was attacking him. Swoosh! Yi Chen's body moved instantly. He stopped in time and returned to his original position. Seeing the person who attacked, everyone was shocked. It was the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord. This was super terrifying. Yi Chen's attention had been focused on killing Xian Quan, but now, he had dodged the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord's attack, and it was even a sneak attack. How strong was his reaction speed? Forever save bookshelf, record reading history, such a sneak attack. Shameless bastard! Elder Yu was furious. He flew out and attacked the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord. Demonic energy exploded from both sides, shaking the entire ring. Elder Yu, Dugu Han is so despicable. He really wants to kill our tribe's elite. He deserves to die. The Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord shouted. What a despicable person. Since the life and death contract has been signed, you should fulfill it to the end. Elder Yu retorted. You want to kill elite warriors in a war with the humans? What crime do you deserve? Ridiculous. Is that all the Holy Camel Tribe has? In an instant, the demon warriors from both sides stood up, swords drawn, and scolded each other. Everyone was speechless at this scene. Dugu Han, don't push your luck. In my eyes, you're nothing but an ant. Withdraw from the battle immediately. The Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord threatened Yi Chen. Ridiculous. Since the life and death contract has been signed, the battle can't stop. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. His figure flashed, and suddenly, the entire ring was filled with demonic shadows. No one knew which one was Yi Chen's real body. Damn it! The Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord attacked again, wanting to kill Yi Chen in advance. This angered Elder Yu. You're the one who should die. Demonic energy erupted from Elder Yu's body, releasing the Holy Shadow Demonic Technique's highest cultivation method. Giant energy bombarded the entire ring, blocking the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord's path. At this moment, Yi Chen had already arrived in front of Xian Quan. No. Xian Quan made a final struggle, wanting to counter Yi Chen. However, his strength was too far from Yi Chen's, so it was useless. Die! Yi Chen shouted. Like a dragon emerging from the sea, he killed Xian Quan with one move. Ah! Everyone exclaimed. Yi Chen really killed Xian Quan, and he did it under the threat of the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord. What kind of courage was this? Dugu Han is a real man. This aura is unparalleled. Xian Quan is no match for him at all. Xian Quan deserved to die. As Yi Chen killed Xian Quan, the entire audience below the ring cheered for him. Ah! Seeing this scene, the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord's heart was about to explode, but he had no way to vent it. He was so angry that he laughed. He suddenly turned around and secretly released his power, wanting to sneak an attack on Yi Chen. Yi Chen's brows furrowed. He released the devouring demonic rune again. After weakening his opponent's strength, he forcefully took the attack. Yi Chen forcefully took the demon lord's attack? Forcefully? Isn't this too exaggerated? Many of the young demon warriors below the stage were stunned. Yi Chen had become the hero in their hearts. His strength was too shocking. This sneak attack failed again, and the Holy Camel Tribe's demon lord could only return to his seat. The battle is over. The Holy Shadow Tribe's Duguhan wins. The Holy Nether Tribe's host announced the result. After this battle, Yi Chen had completely proven himself. Everyone looked at him with fear. Elder Yu was overjoyed. Yi Chen was the face of the Holy Shadow Tribe. Dugu Ming and the others were afraid and jealous. Their expressions were ugly. At this moment, the Holy Moon Tribe's demon son stood up. Duguhan, do you want to be my subordinate and follow me? As soon as this was said, everyone was shocked. The Holy Moon Tribe was one of the 3 major demon clans. The Holy Moon Demon Son was an extremely noble person. Following him would mean a bright future. Everyone looked at Yi Chen with envy. It seemed like he was going to soar this time. Under everyone's gaze, Yi Chen's lips moved slightly. I refuse. Boom. As soon as his voice fell, the air became deathly silent. These 3 words shocked countless demon warriors. They thought they had heard wrong. Refuse? The Holy Moon Demon Son's smile gradually turned cold. He was actually rejected. To be continued. Chapter 1760. Everyone was stunned. The Holy Moon Clan was one of the 3 major demon clans. The Holy Moon Devil Son had an incomparably noble status. Yi Chen's belittling and rejection shocked everyone. Although he had killed Xian Quan and displayed great courage, offending the Holy Moon Devil Son was tantamount to seeking death. Many people shook their heads as if sighing at the fall of a genius. There were also many people who were gloating, waiting to watch a good show. Very well. The Holy Moon Devil Son did not explode on the spot and kill Yi Chen like everyone expected. Instead, he sat down. However, the deep murderous intent in his eyes made everyone feel that something was wrong. How does it feel to be rejected by a piece of trash? I really didn't expect that our famous Holy Moon Devil Son would be rejected one day. The Holy Star Clan and the Holy Sun Clan's Devil Sons began to mock and ridicule. The 3 clans were all noble demon clans, so there would inevitably be conflicts between them. Being able to see the demon son of the Holy Moon Clan suffer a setback was something that he could not be happier about. Yi Chen did not care about the Holy Moon Devil Son's current mood at all. He turned around and was about to walk off the stage. What an idiot! What's the difference between this and death? In the Holy Shadow Clan's camp, Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo spoke quietly. They looked at Yi Chen as if they were looking at a dead man. Sigh. He actually dared to reject the Holy Moon Devil Son's invitation. How arrogant. This person won't live. It's not easy to grow to this level in a small clan, but it's a pity. That's right. This Holy Shadow Clan elder doesn't even come out to mediate. It's completely over this time. Everyone thought that Yi Chen was destined to not live long after rejecting the Holy Moon Devil Son. Many people felt pity for him. Just as Yi Chen was about to walk off the stage, suddenly, an angry roar shook the entire place. Duguhan, stop right there. Hearing this, Yi Chen suddenly turned around and looked forward coldly. He saw a tall, burly man from the Demon Clan. He was not from the Holy Moon Clan but the Holy Abyss Clan. Yi Chen narrowed his eyes. He could feel that this person's cultivation base was extraordinary. He was a Tier 5 demon general. No wonder he called out to him so arrogantly. Seeing such a scene, everyone couldn't help but reveal expressions of schadenfreude. They were bound to watch a good show. This person from the Sacred Abyss tribe was a vassal of the Holy Moon clan's Devil Son. Since Yi Chen had rejected the Devil Son, he naturally had to challenge Yi Chen to please the Holy Moon clan's Devil Son. A fifth-grade demonic general was considered a well-known figure among the younger generation. Ordinary people did not dare to take on such a powerful challenge head-on. Seeing that Yi Chen did not move, the crowd revealed a mocking expression. He, killing a Xian Quan is nothing. This time, he will definitely not dare to face a fifth-grade demon general head-on. Of course, the demon warriors who can become the vassal of the Sacred Moon clan's demon son are all experts. I gave this kid a chance, but he didn't grasp it and even offended the Devil Son. Such an ending is within my expectations. This time, our Holy Shadow Tribe's great genius is going to lose face. However, Yi Chen blocked out all the mocking comments from below. He stared coldly at the opponent before him. Are you sure you want to challenge me? The corner of Yi Chen's lips lifted slightly, revealing a mysterious smile. The challenger was slightly stunned. However, he was a fifth-grade demonic general with powerful strength. There was no reason for him to be afraid. Of course, you dare to reject my master. Such behavior must be met with death. The person replied angrily. Didn't you see what happened to Xian Quan? Challenger, only death awaits you. As soon as these words came out, the crowd burst into laughter. Ha ha, what an arrogant kid. Don't think that you're invincible just because you killed a Xian Quan. I can crush that kind of trash with one finger. As for you, I only need one finger to crush you to death. The Sacred Abyss tribe warrior laughed a few times and then said through gritted teeth. There's no use in arguing. Do you dare to sign a life or death contract with me? Yi Chen's words shocked the crowd once again. This should have been said by the Sacred Abyss tribe warrior, but now it was said by Yi Chen. Was this guy a madman? No one could understand Yi Chen's thoughts. The opponent was a fifth-grade demonic general. It was already very lucky for him to be able to crawl out of the battlefield alive after the battle, but he actually wanted to sign a life or death contract with the opponent. Was this not seeking death? Madman! Regarding Yi Chen's behavior, the crowd could only think so. You want to sign a life or death contract? That's exactly what I wanted. The Sacred Abyss tribe warrior's eyebrows were raised in anger. He was really being looked down upon by Yi Chen. Yi Chen had taken the initiative to ask for a life or death contract. This was an insult to him, and there was no reason for him to refuse. Seeing this scene, Elder Yu felt very conflicted. He was already very worried about Yi Chen during the battle with Xian Quan. Now, he was actually signing a life or death contract with a fifth-grade demonic general. This was indeed beyond his imagination. However, the other party was a subordinate of the Devil Son, so Elder Yu could not directly intervene, so he could only shake his head. Host, please. Alright. The Sacred Abyss tribe host flew onto the stage and witnessed the two signing the life or death contract. Very well, Dugohan, you have the guts. Then die. I said, if you challenge me, only death awaits you. Yi Chen's eyes suddenly opened, and his entire body's aura spread out, sweeping across the entire place. The entire space was filled with extreme killing intent. Although this effect was shocking, the Sacred Abyss tribe warrior had the foundation of a fifth-grade demonic general, so he was not afraid and walked up to take it head-on. Such insignificant trick. How can you win against me? Dugohan, give me your life. The Sacred Abyss tribe warrior roared, and demonic energy spread out from his body. Countless steel horns grew on the surface of his body, like an indestructible battle armor. He wanted to completely crush Yi Chen, not giving him any chance. Yi Chen's front leg leaned forward slightly, and he stretched out a hand, making a provocative gesture. Die. Seeing this action, the Sacred Abyss tribe warrior was enraged to the extreme. The steel horns on his body flashed with a dark light, and he suddenly rushed forward. Rumble! The earth shook and the space seemed to be shattered. At this moment, no one thought that Yi Chen could walk out of the battle platform alive. This was a battle without any suspense. It was an all-around crushing. What a pity. On the main seat, the Holy Moon Tribe's Devil Son's lips curled into a cold smile. The other two Devil Sons were expressionless. They also thought that Yi Chen would die without a doubt. This time, the Holy Moon Tribe's Devil Son used his subordinate to show off, so they were very unhappy. Die. As you wish. Yi Chen's eyes shone coldly. As he rotated his palm, the immortal slaying flying dagger had already merged with his palm. Such a wonderful combination was very secretive, and no one could detect it. Tier 5 demonic might kill. Yi Chen shouted angrily, and the foundation of a 5th-grade demonic general erupted. He imbued demonic energy into the immortal slaying flying dagger. At this moment, his palm was the immortal slaying flying dagger. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Dust and sand filled the sky and the earth cracked. As a few saber gleams rapidly slashed through the space, the man died, and his Tao disappeared. The Sacred Abyss Tribe's Devil Son's huge body crashed to the ground. At that moment everyone was shocked. Chapter 1761. They did not see the death of the Sacred Abyss Tribe's Devil Heir. At that moment the entire place was silent. How is this possible? This kid is also a Tier 5 demon general. That can't be right. The Sacred Abyss Tribe's demon general used a unique technique. His body is as hard as steel. How could he kill him in one blow? What happened? How did Dugohan do it? One blow killed him. Everyone was shocked. On the Sacred Shadow Tribe's side, Duguming's mouth was wide open. Elder Yu was also shocked. A month ago, Yi Chen had just become a Tier 1 demon general. In just a month, he had crossed 4 stages. Did this not mean that Yi Chen was the Sacred Shadow Tribe's genius? Damn it! Suddenly, a loud roar sounded. A shocking figure rushed onto the platform and went straight for Yi Chen. Stop! Elder Yu saw that it was the Sacred Abyss Tribe's Demon King. He did not expect that he would break the rules and attack Yi Chen. Rumble! The two reached Yi Chen at the same time. Powerful palm energy collided with each other. Shockwaves caused the people below the platform to retreat. Only Yi Chen did not retreat and calmly faced the attack. Attacking a junior. What a good move. Elder Yu said angrily. This person killed a warrior of the Sacred Abyss Tribe. Should I just sit and watch? The Sacred Abyss Tribe's Demon King replied. The rules are here. What's the point? Don't be smug for too long. The Sacred Abyss Tribe's Demon King knew that he had lost his chance and turned to leave. However, when he turned around, he glanced coldly at Yi Chen with a murderous look. This person must die. On the second floor, the Sacred Camel Tribe's Demon King said coldly. Yi Chen had killed 2 young powerhouses in a row. This was too shocking for the Demon Kings. With such terrifying talent, if he was given enough time to grow, he would definitely become the Sacred Shadow Tribe's ultimate powerhouse. At that time, the other demon tribes would not be able to fight against him. This battle of life and death, Dugohan wins. The Sacred Nether Tribe's host went onto the platform again and announced Yi Chen's victory. The crowd below the stage had all sorts of expressions on their faces, but all of them were fearful of Yi Chen. Although they were all powerhouses in their own tribes, after witnessing Yi Chen's talent and strength today, they all felt that they were inferior to him and were jealous. After that, a few more battles took place. However, after Yi Chen killed 2 young powerhouses, the battles became boring. As time passed, the welcoming ceremony came to an end. Everyone began to leave. As Yi Chen advanced, he felt a presence approaching him. He glanced sideways slightly and saw that it was the Holy Star Clan's Devil Heir. Dugohan, right? The Holy Star Clan's Devil Heir smiled at Yi Chen. There was no hostility in his eyes. Instead, there was some admiration. However, Yi Chen did not care at all because he had already seen through the other party's intentions from his eyes. It was the same as the Holy Moon Clan's devil son. It was impossible for him to recruit him as a vassal. I think highly of you. If you encounter any difficulties in the future, you can come to the Sacred Star Race to teach me a lesson. As soon as he said this, everyone's hearts trembled. The Holy Star Clan's devil son's words were much gentler. It was clear that he had acknowledged Yi Chen's strength. Moreover, his words were equivalent to protecting Yi Chen, which carried a lot of weight. The Holy Moon Clan's devil heir's expression was extremely ugly. Protecting Yi Chen was going against him. Such behavior was too hateful. Since it was such a good thing, everyone bowed to Yi Chen and accepted it. I like to solve problems by myself, Yi Chen said coldly. After that, he did not stop at all. He walked forward directly, leaving the Holy Star Clan's devil son behind, not giving him any face at all. Ah, this kid is too rude. He doesn't know how to appreciate favors. Many people secretly scolded Yi Chen for being rude. The Holy Star Clan's devil son had already lowered himself, but he still did not get any response. However, the Holy Star Clan's devil son was only slightly stunned. Not only was he not angry, but he also laughed. Interesting. The Holy Shadow Clan followed Elder Yu back to his residence. Dugerhan, your behavior is too high profile. It's too dangerous in this place where heroes fight. Elder Yu scolded Yi Chen on the surface, but the admiration between his brows could not be concealed. He just did not want Yi Chen to die prematurely because of his personality. This is the Holy War. The situation is complicated. Anything can happen. Dugerhan, you must be careful. Don't be careless. Got it, Yi Chen replied coldly. He did not stop and walked straight to his residence. Elder, he was rude to you. Such behavior must be severely punished. Yes, this kid is too arrogant. He's not worthy of our Holy Shadow Clan's nurturing. Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo stepped forward to sow discord, trying to make Elder Yu no longer support Yi Chen. However, it was completely ineffective. In fact, it had the opposite effect. In the Demon Clan, the only standard to obtain various resources was strength. Now that Yi Chen's strength was far above the two of them, Elder Yu naturally had a judgment. Be ****. You don't work hard to cultivate and improve your strength. Instead, you always talk about others behind their back. Is this what you should do? Elder Yu scolded angrily. Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo were submissive, not daring to respond. At this time, the other Holy Shadow Clan members were secretly mocking the two of them, saying that they had fallen out of favor. Returning to his residence, Yi Chen sat cross-legged to rest and integrate his demonic energy. With the Immortal Demon Rotation demonic technique, he could even integrate demonic energy and spiritual energy. This was a cultivation method that he had inadvertently discovered. This method was greatly beneficial to his cultivation. He even felt that his cultivation speed was increasing. A breakthrough was only a matter of time. The Holy War is coming. I must adjust myself to my best condition and find a chance to leave. Yi Chen set a goal for himself. Then, he closed his eyes and began to cultivate. Roar. On the morning of the third day, Yi Chen heard the roars of many magical beasts. The sound of war drums shook heaven and earth, boosting his spirit. He immediately got up and went outside. At this time, he saw Elder Yu walking out with the crowd behind him. Everyone, the Holy War has arrived. I've received a notice from the Holy Nether Clan's Demon Lord. Let's go to the meeting hall quickly. Yes. Everyone agreed and followed Elder Yu's footstep. Yi Chen followed behind, paying attention to the movements around him. He could not let go of any opportunity. In the meeting hall, a powerful demonic energy suddenly swept over, shocking everyone. Some demon warriors even knelt on the ground, unable to get up. Yi Chen observed his surroundings and immediately sensed the source of the powerful demonic energy. It came from the sky. Rumble. For a moment, Lightning flashed and thunder roared. Dark clouds covered the sky. Above the void, the powerful sound waves hit the surroundings, hurting everyone's eardrums. Accompanied by the terrifying demonic energy, a demon sovereign descended from the sky. Everyone's expression was solemn, not daring to make any strange movements. They stepped forward one after another to welcome the demon sovereign's arrival. Chapter 1762. That's the demon emperor of the Holy Nether Tribe. Come pay your respects. Elder Yu said to the Holy Shadow Tribe. Yes. Everyone followed Elder Yu to pay their respects to the demon emperor of the sacred Nether race. I'm a prodigy of the human race and the demon emperor of the demon race. What right do I have to pay respects to you? Yi Chen thought to himself. He stood behind and refused to pay his respects. Due to the large number of people, the Demon King's attention was not on Yi Chen, so there were no problems. The Demon Emperor's aura suppressed everyone present. He said, "The sacred war is about to begin. All the brave warriors of the demon race must participate. Anyone who dares to retreat will be killed without mercy." "We will follow your orders." All the devils bowed in greeting and agreed. At this time, a devil expert walked out. Reporting to the demon sovereign. Early this morning, cultivators from the spirit realm launched a sneak attack on the rear of our demon race. Many of the enslaved cultivators of the demon race are rioting. The situation is dire and the 5 demon lords have gone to suppress them. Hearing this, everyone's hearts trembled. They hadn't expected that before the holy war had even begun, the demons would be ambushed from the rear by the humans. The spiritual realm was hundreds of thousands of kilometers away from the rear of the devils. How did these humans pass through the layers of blockades? Just thinking about it made one's hair stand on end. There's no need to worry. Since the 5 great demon masters have gone to suppress them, there won't be any problems. The demon emperor said. Yes. Everyone nodded. The demon emperor turned around and flew to the 9 heavens, leaving behind a powerful demonic aura in the sky. Yi Chen hated the demonic energy very much. He frowned and the immortal slaying flying saber appeared in his hand again. A saber gleam hit the demonic energy secretly. The spiritual power of the flying daggers stirred wildly in the demonic chi, and the demonic chi suddenly dispersed. Quick, look! Why did the demon sovereign's demonic energy disappear? An expert asked. Idiot, so what? The demon emperor has already left, so isn't it normal for the demonic chi to disappear? But the devil chi was still so strong just now. Don't talk nonsense. Do you think someone can easily disperse the demon emperor's demon chi? Hearing this, everyone nodded. It was impossible for someone to dissipate the devil chi so easily without being noticed. Yi Chen sneered in his heart. To him, dispersing the demonic emperor chi was just a matter of one strike. What was so difficult about it? At that moment, a few experts from the sacred nether race walked over. Everyone, it's time to assign the missions. Everyone stepped forward and waited for their orders. Holy Shadow Tribe. Here. Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo were the first to step forward, and they were very enthusiastic. Now, arrange for your clan's young experts, Dugu Han, Dugu Ming, and Dugu Luo, to join the Holy Moon clan. They will be in charge of taking over the demon Abyss City. Yes. Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo agreed very quickly. However, such an order shocked everyone. At the same time, they looked in Yi Chen's direction. Many people looked at Yi Chen sympathetically. Previously, Yi Chen had offended the Holy Moon clan's devil son and was assigned to him. There were many things that could be manipulated. Elder, I'm afraid it's inappropriate to distribute it like this, right? Elder Yu stepped forward and said after hearing the distribution order. What do you have to say? The sacred Nether Elder asked coldly. Everyone knows about what happened between Yi Chen and the Holy Moon clan's devil son. Could it be that you're purposely pushing the Holy Shadow clan's geniuses into the fire pit by dividing them like this? Ha ha ha, Elder Yu, this is an order. All of you can only follow it. There's no way you can resist. Elder Yu was furious, but it was useless. He knew that he could not change the distribution this time, so he could only step back. Elder Yu, the Demon King has ordered you to follow us and participate in the Demon King's mission. Sigh. Elder Yu had no choice but to leave with the powerhouse. After an hour of task distribution, everyone had their own task. Let's go. The powerhouses of the sacred Nether clan gave the order and everyone moved out. Yi Chen followed Duguming and the rest to the Holy Moon clan's Devil Sun's camp. He remained calm and observed the situation. At this time, the Holy Moon clan's Devil Sun walked out with a proud look on his face. As the commander of this mission, he wanted to find his deputy commander. There were a total of 5 demon clans under the Holy Moon clan, including the Holy Hunchback clan and the Holy Shadow clan. The Holy Moon Devil Sun walked to the front of everyone and scanned them. This holy war is of great importance. I need a few deputy commanders to cooperate with me. Let's begin. He looked at the younger generation of the 5 great demon clans, and then used his hand to point at a few of them. You and you're all deputy commanders. Thank you, Holy Moon Devil Sun. They thanked him one after another. At this time, the Holy Moon Devil Sun walked to the Holy Shadow clan's camp. Everyone held their breath. Logically speaking, Yi Chen was the most powerful among the younger generation of the Holy Shadow clan. He would definitely be chosen as the deputy commander. However, this time, the initiative was in the hands of the Holy Moon Devil Sun. There was suspense in the matter. The result would depend on whether the Holy Moon clan's Devil Sun would prioritize the overall situation or use his position to avenge a personal grudge. The Holy Shadow clan's deputy commander is. The Holy Moon Devil Sun purposely dragged his voice to show his authority. After all, only he could choose the deputy commander. The people of the Holy Shadow clan became nervous. They did not know who the deputy commander would be, especially Duguming and Dugaluo. They were looking forward to it. I choose Duguming. As soon as this was said, the crowd was in an uproar. The most powerful person in the Holy Shadow clan, Yi Chen, was abandoned in favor of Duguming. As expected, the Holy Moon clan's Devil Sun still wanted revenge. Thank you for your recognition, Holy Moon Devil Sun. Duguming knelt on the ground and expressed his gratitude. The Holy Moon Devil Sun suddenly came before Yi Chen and sneered. Do you have any objections to this result? Everyone looked at Yi Chen to see if he would work hard to fight for it. Objections? No need. These few simple words made the Holy Moon Devil Sun very embarrassed. It seemed like he did not care about the position of deputy commander at all, so the question was unnecessary. The Holy Moon Devil Sun's eyes shone coldly as he stared at Yi Fan. It was obvious that he was extremely angry. Yi Chen, what's with your attitude? The Holy Moon Devil Sun is our leader. How dare you disrespect him? Duguming stepped forward and scolded Yi Chen. I, Yi Chen, am a lone wolf. I fight on my own. Why do I need someone else to lead me? Everyone was shocked. They did not expect Yi Chen to say such arrogant words in front of the Holy Moon Devil Sun. Was he really not afraid of death? You're asking for it. Duguming wanted to move. Yi Chen's cold gaze froze Duguming on the spot. He knew very well that even 10 of him would not be Yi Chen's match. At this moment, the Holy Moon clan's Devil Sun suddenly gave Duguming a look, signaling him not to move. Duguming nodded slightly. Then, he gritted his teeth and said fiercely in his heart, So what if you're stronger than me? I'll still ride on your head. Just you wait. I have ways to deal with you on the battlefield.